There it is. Also, there we go. Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for swinging in. We appreciate you. We're very, very sorry about the delay. Had an array of technical issues today. A little bit of kind of housekeeping, as anyone who follows on Twitter or in Discord knows. We have, unfortunately, had to say goodbye to our good friend Torin for a brief amount of time while he is off dealing with some of his stuff in the real life sphere. So we hope to be seeing him back at the table soon. In the meantime, we have had someone who has been kind enough to drop in on short notice, who we will be revealing at a dramatically appropriate moment in time. Apart from that, we just want to say thank you all for bearing with us through the technical issues, and we hope you enjoy the game. Without further ado, we'll just go over a quick recap. The party finally having made their way to the small garrison town of Southwatch, essentially spent most of their evening ridding Stanislav of the various curses he acquired throughout their journeys to this point. Upon doing so, finally being once again able to speak after having that ability taken from him, Stanislav wasted no time in hitting the stores with his compatriots, doing a little negotiating here and there, attempting to sell one of the cursed items themselves, hoping to part ways with it indefinitely. Auten, who changed his moniker to Romalia. Yep. We will have that updated on the new overlay in a second here. But, so, you kid decided to further distance yourself from your tribe even more. Taking a new name for yourself, possibly donning an entirely new appearance as well. Whereas Gregory kind of just tagged along, got to enjoy himself, picked up a couple spell scrolls, and kind of just made introductions throughout the town. After finishing your shopping, you went to the blacksmith to see if you could try to pawn off your cursed sword. Seemed a little hesitant at first based on its kind of evil nature, but is not opposed to helping you find someone to sell it to, or possibly trading it and then, going on to trade it.
Little sussy.
Little sussy. And the fact that you tried to hide it from him and then he later caught you on that certainly didn't help your case at all. That being said...
He didn't catch me, I technically admitted to it.
Yeah, he thought you were a bit fishy, but seemed mostly on the up and up. Said if you swing back by in the morning, he might have someone who is willing to at least make a sale. At that point, you made your way to the Last Watch Inn, where you found a humble bard playing some music and reading what appeared to be some just very straight up basic spoken word, capturing the attention of all in attendance that evening. Eventually leaving the stage and going off to do his own thing, Auten, or Romalia, made a new contact in the form of a rather shady individual who had been contently sitting by himself in the back of the tavern. Wasting no time, Auten, or Romalia, immediately pulled up a seat, sat down, and engaged this individual in conversation, who was a little reluctant at first, but quickly realized that perhaps you folks may just be the kind of people he was looking for. He gave you a location to meet him in the morning, at which point the rest of you decided to kind of tuck in for a bite to eat, a quick drink, and Auten made the impulse decision God damn it, guys. Made the impulse decision to stealthily follow this individual and try to size him up a little for himself, while Gregory, Torin, and Stanislav decided to take a quick drink for themselves. So, we'll pick up there. Auten. This individual, who still remains nameless, never actually giving you a formal introduction, leaves the front door of the Last Watch Inn. What would you like to do? How are you going to follow this individual?
I'm gonna step outside, and Romalia is going to take a few moments and think about the decision they're making, and the note that's still burning in their pocket, which just reads, "This is what I do."
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna just kind of stay. I want to keep a good distance. And I just want to know where, for the moment, we're going to change course, and I just want to know where they're staying.
Okay, so for the time being, roll me a stealth check as you attempt to follow this individual.
I'm pretty not bad at those.
Yeah. We're
But
just you have to hope
I
that the
You still have
master of
half the fighting
spies.
praise up, right?
so I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, because I'm gonna need it, that that we had talked about the fact that the pass without a trace is still up.
It is. So that brings you to a total of 18 stealth.
18. Yeah.
So, as this individual leaves and immediately takes the left, going out of the pub, kind of heading towards either the northern exit or the more wealthy district on the western side of the town. He very quickly makes his way. Very fleet of foot, not very heavy-footed at all. Quite agile, just from his appearance, and very quickly just disappears around the corner of the wall.
Okay. There's gonna be a moment where Rotten's just going to be very annoyed, but I'm gonna actually still commit. I'm gonna pull Torin aside for a minute.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna say, there's something that I actually kind of want to talk to you about, Torin, and a rather large favor to ask for.
What's that?
We're, as you know, we're likely about to go cross paths with the Imperium, and as satisfying as that is going to be, we're not tied to anyone. You are tied, of course, to the, and I'm gonna tap my armor, the Hush Root.
I got you.
But they don't exactly have a headquarters nearby if shit hits the fan. And I sincerely doubt that we'll be seeing Stanislav's brother, or Axes, anytime soon.
Lineax?
Lineax, yeah, Axes. That's a pet name that we established before he left.
You two are on.
Yeah, totally.
You two are on pet names now. All right.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he insisted
when
on
did that?
it.
Seems like a thing he would do.
That's not important right now,
What
buddy.
do you want from me? What do you need me to do?
I just bought a small armory, and
I saw that.
Yeah, I want some folks that are going to be using them. But if we're going to establish a place or establish something, some sort of support system of our own, we're going to need people. And I'm going to pull out another list, and this is a list I've kind of had for a while since I actually left home.
Okay.
And I never talked to you about this, but so I'm now manifesting this as an idea.
Manifest that list, baby.
And it's just, I'm gonna present it to him, and it's just a list of different roles. Like, we're gonna need farmers, teachers, academics. There's something there that is like arcane teacher with a question mark. Like,
he's just like kind of reading it over. Right. You want me to find farmers?
I want you to find folks that aren't attached and that would be willing to help us establish our own safe place. And I don't need you to recruit them and send them. If you have the opportunity, go for it. But even finding them so that I can negotiate would be a massive win for me and hopefully for us in the end.
All right.
And as much as I would love to have you on this mission, we're going to need that support system sooner rather than later.
Figured, and well, kind of need Stanny more than you need me, I guess.
No, the reason I'm sending you is because you're the best person for this job. You're not as... I am not a leader. I am maybe a commander. I am maybe a tactician, but I am not a leader. Stanislav inspires, but I worry that when the time came to establish supply lines and know where food had to go at exactly what time, he would struggle. Neither of us are cut out for this type of work.
It's not exactly my cup of tea either, but...
It's not, but of the three of us...
I'm gonna be the best at tracking people down.
Exactly. So I'm asking you to do this because you can.
I have a couple ideas where I might want to start.
I will miss you. Take care of yourself.
Likewise.
Check in often.
Easier said than done, but I'll do what I can.
Well, if we find a place that we can hold up, find us, and then you can send any mail there.
Well, for now, I'll just send any post I can to the inn.
We'll loop back often, and I'll give him a I don't have an arm.
He grabs the.
It's kind of hard to imitate the elbow grab.
It just pops off.
Yeah. He goes for the handshake and immediately kind of pulls you in and just slaps a hand on your back.
Okay.
Yeah, you're not the hugging type. I know.
But I mean, the thought's appreciated.
Taps you on the shoulder and kind of slings up his bag, backpack, and
when we're established, you'll have a choice of what you want to do, and I haven't forgotten about that one comment you and Stanislav made about your old friend's sister. So when
honestly, that's where I'm thinking of starting.
Well, then like I said, be careful and try to make some friends along the way.
Yeah, I'm great at that. He kind of like looks back and there's like a brief flashback to the goblin army that
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I wasn't there for
moment.
that, so Utton doesn't
Still
know.
my favorite moment in any campaign, I will be honest.
Well, you have great colors. All right, I'm not too good at speechifying, so I'm gonna leave it there so that we can progress with the story. I mean, let you get on your way so that you can get started.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah.
The plot beckons. So he's gonna kind of sling up his backpack and make his way south out of the city towards the southern gate where you all came in, back towards the domain of the Imperium.
I'll head back to the inn and.
Are you done following the dude?
Yeah, he's not a target, and we've already shown him that we had the capability to be stealthy if push came to shove. So there's no real leg. Like, yo, I could have killed you. Like, he's a client, not
do me a favor.
Yeah.
Roll me a perception check.
Oh, well, okay. Those I am better.
Those
at.
you are great at for sure.
Perception, you said. Okay, 19.
So he's not really trying to hide per se.
Right.
He's more just standing in a shadowy alcove at this point. As you say goodbye to Torin and turn around and make your way back to the pub, you kind of just see him standing in the shadows by the gates, watching you, smiling. Knowingly. He knew you were there the entire time.
As he should have. I'll just...
He just nods and then turns and walks back the way he was heading.
God damn it. And I'll head back to the pub.
Yeah, so he has the observant feat. His passive is through the fucking roof, dude.
Yeah.
He's a spy master. This is what he does. Anywho, he makes his way northward out of the city through the northern gate towards the farmlands and further up into the kingdom of Eldris. Are you gonna head back to the pub, you said?
Yeah, I've got no real further business here, so.
Okay, no problem. As you head back to the pub, you find Stanislav and Gregory already well into a couple plates of food. Stanislav seems to have drank most of the liquor himself, though you do see Gregory with a small glass of mead accompanying his food.
God damn it, kid.
What'd I do?
Stanislav is topping it up when it gets too low.
Oh, this time I wasn't referring to you. I was referring to the other kid. And I will wink at Stanislav.
Come have a seat. Eat your food before I eat for you. Come on.
Fine. What's with the? I mean, not to be prejudiced, but we don't see satyrs in this place very often. What's going on here?
Yeah, you talk. Did you approach the satyr?
No, I'm sitting down with next to Stanislav, and I'm assuming that I am working under the assumption that they've not been subtle being here.
No, they've more or less been drinking in kind of their own areas, just been sitting with the individual who appears to be his very obviously non-identical twin.
Right. So I'll just make a passing
this big comment. And she's like this big. You know what
I mean? I'll just give Stanislav I'm just gonna kind of conversationally be like, yo, I haven't seen a satyr before. I know of them because
I don't either. I've been out here my whole life. I've never seen a person that has legs like that before. And I have horns, so I've seen plenty of people with horns. But...
You are definitely horny. So,
I mean, yeah, they're really big. He's like hand polishing his horns at this point.
oh yeah, they just glisten in the moonlight, buddy. It's,
Well, thank you. I'm quite fond of them myself.
you should be. So, yeah, I'm just gonna sit there and enjoy the music and eat my food, and I'll keep an eye on everything as best I can.
Yeah, so
I will not.
fair enough. I will say, Gregory and Stanislav, roll me Constitution saving throws, since you guys are both drinking, and Gregory is a 15-year-old boy, so not the highest liquor tolerance there. So
Add a +4 to your save.
Oh?
it's a 10.
10.
Okay, so you're feeling it. You're definitely feeling it, and this like brings you back to the old days, right? Like, speaking out of character, definitely like that feeling of, oh, I'm not used to this. This is not something I'm accustomed to. Though in the recent 4 days you've traveled with this group, this will be your second time engaging in binge drinking, so you're definitely getting a little more used to it. Yeah. Fuck. It's just bad. You do
the same for me, just a little better.
Stanislav, you're built a little hardier than most too, and you've done your fair share
But
of
I
drinking.
drank a lot more than most too.
Yeah, exactly. Doesn't affect you quite as much. Though Gregory, as the night goes on, does kind of begin to turn a little bit of a shade of green, starting to look a little sickly, perhaps.
Yeah.
This is why we ease them into it, and I'm just gonna pull the drink away.
I don't even notice. Just like, and
Stanislav's in the middle of pouring when you do that, and he just like follows you over. He's like, all right, it's yours now.
it's fine. I just gotta eat more potatoes.
Yeah, as the owner, the woman who served you before, kind of walks past the table, and she's like, "Will you hurry up and get some food in him, please? He gets sick, you're cleaning it up."
I'm gonna like take a potato and like airplane it towards Gregory's mouth.
Yeah, this is great. Okay, cool.
Cotton's just going to slow blink.
Yeah, the woman makes direct eye contact with you, Otten, and just returns the slow blink, and kind of just turns, goes about her business.
Stanislav now picks up a potato and starts airplaning it towards Otten's mouth.
Sorry, Ramalia's mouth.
I don't know
Yeah,
that.
that's
That's
exactly.
true, yeah,
And,
that's
like,
true.
I'll still probably and then like, I will just take the dagger. I will slowly reach for the dagger that I keep on my forearm. I will grip it, and
Do
I
you
will
open your mouth
turn.
at any point?
No, I turn and I give you a death glare, and there's like
It's
a
coming
nod.
closer.
I just flip and stab the potato. I don't hit you, but I stab the potato.
Whoa.
Perfect.
Cool.
Do you eat it afterwards?
No, God, no. I have
Alright.
standards.
Do you?
Shut up.
Food waster, I say as I go back to shoveling potatoes in my face.
I'm just got like now I'm doing the airplane, but for myself. Just,
Yes, airplanes, that definitely are a thing that you would know about in this
It's
universe.
just, it's more like a sick
the
bird.
it's a sky ship.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can we pretend that airplanes? Anyway, I'm done.
No, stop. No. So, unless anyone has any further business to conclude this evening, we are going to bring the evening to the wraps as the bard occasionally hops on stage, plays for a few minutes, and returns to his drinking post throughout the rest of the night. The alcohol begins to put Gregory into a state of near comatose-like enjoyment. Meanwhile, the other two of you are doing a little on the better side, but the sun begins to go down, and drink well into the evening hours, and at a certain point, decide to make your way up to the room. I believe you got the 4-person room, if memory serves, from last session.
Yeah.
And
sleepover. Woo!
Hashtag pragmatism.
I like
Yep.
have Gregory over my shoulder as I'm carrying him up to the room.
yeah, he's kind of just draped over you, just kind of hanging. You make your way up to the room. No further incident or anything. You just open the door. You find 4 comfortable-ish looking beds. They're not anything flashy, but they certainly look like they would be comfortable enough to spend a couple nights in. Far better than what you're used to sleeping to on the sandy rock of the Ember Step. So, a definite improvement. The room itself smells a little on the musty side, like you would imagine parties of adventurers who rent this room probably smell like. Very lightly decorated, nothing really stand out. Couple bedside tables next to the bed for you to put any of your belongings in should you be staying for a long period of time, and just a single torch burning on the far wall as you enter. Barely
it smells
lighting
like
the whole
wet
room.
in here.
Yeah, it's a little, almost like hockey locker room. Not quite so bad.
No.
Oh boy. Oh, all right. I mean, these beds they look comfy, but I'm gonna push another one together. Wait, where's Torin?
Torin's on a bit of a doing me a favor. He'll be around, but he won't be here for a while.
Oh, okay.
We'll
Well,
talk
that's
about
really
it.
Cool, eh?
Yes, we will talk about this when both of you are sober.
Okay, and I'm gonna continue pushing another, like one of the beds together, so I
Aw.
can have a double bed. Because I'm big.
You need 2, maybe 3.
Yeah. They're a little shorter too, like they're not made for a 6'2" golden tiefling
So-
man.
So I'm gonna pass out diagonally along them then.
Good call. Yeah, been there
Yep.
many times. You all get
Yep.
a good night's sleep in. Go ahead and hit that long rest button. Your evening passes without incident. There is a window, but you're on the second floor, so it's fairly little chance of someone sneaking in. And you awaken the next morning, find all your belongings exactly where you left them.
And I'm making waffles.
Sure. There is the smell of food coming up from downstairs. It is definitely not waffles. Smells kind of like bacon.
Uh-oh.
There's no bacon strips in here. No bacon strips.
Like, wake up. There's bacon downstairs.
Why do I feel like I'm gonna die?
Look, it is morning. Just step outside, take a deep breath, and get real high.
I hate you. I hate you. I need new
I'm
players.
gonna-
I quit.
I'm
Thanks,
gonna
everybody.
go outside and scream at the top of my lungs. All right.
I'm
that
gonna
that
come to your
reference-
house and
Anyways.
smack the shit out of you. Okay, it's a good
All
song.
right, all right.
Don't get me
I'm
wrong. It's a
done.
great
I'm
tune.
done.
It's a
I'm
great
done.
tune.
No,
Divine slap.
Yeah, divine slap.
Yeah, let's go.
It's
Let's
gonna be in
go.
my head all night.
Yep. Pack polish it. Go get
Let's
some breakfast.
let's go get some food.
Quick.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's go. Okay.
Yeah, Gregory, roll me a Constitution save. Just
Oh,
from
that's probably, yeah, that makes sense.
It's just a hangover check.
Add 4.
Boop, boop,
Okay.
ba-doop, boop, boop.
Your mouth is dry, your head is pounding, and your body's kind of sore. Like, you're not used to a hangover, but you're
I
handling it
keep-
pretty well considered. You gather after, like, a good grease coat, you'll probably be okay to carry on with the rest of your day.
I'm just like hobbling like a little old man. I look
Yeah.
like I'm 80, like especially in the little black like bathrobe looking thing. I'm just like, let's go. I'm like hugging the box.
Oh, yeah, we've all been there.
Let's go.
By the way, that's a 13, not a 9, because of my aura.
Yeah, I know.
Oh yeah, okay. A little straighter up.
If
but
it had been
still
a
holding
9,
the
he'd be
box.
throwing up right now.
Oh yeah. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, so you make your way downstairs. You do find the pub itself, or the inn, is fairly full. You gather a lot of individuals come here for their morning feed before they go out to either the fields or their positions on the walls, whatever job they may have. This is generally a pretty happening breakfast joint, if you will. There is what appears to be just an array of different breakfast meats. You got sausages, there's bacon, there's still some potatoes that you imagine probably left over from the night before, but are still fairly good and have been reheated.
That one has a
Is,
knife
is it a
stab in
buffet?
it.
No, not quite a buffet. Like, you go and sit down, and essentially she brings out a plate of food, because you guys have already paid for your stay, and I believe that included 2 meals a day for the duration.
All inclusive.
Yeah, full all
already had
inclusive.
yummy.
Drinks are not included.
Once we finish, I'm just gonna hey you two. Once we're done eating, would you step outside? And Gregory, I need your box. Well,
Oh,
you're storing something for me that I'm going to yeah.
yes, 100%. Not a problem at all. Where
And I need to go. And I need to go and see about that sword again.
Yeah.
I believe is where you're going to, right?
Well, it will be. But here. Once we step outside, I'm assuming that the box will be produced. I'm assuming.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Right.
Okay.
Boop, boop.
I'm gonna reach inside, and I'm gonna pull out one of the pikes that I bought the day prior.
Yep. You pull out a pike that's probably about 8 to 10 feet in length. Probably
Yes.
7 to 9 if I had to guess, but
Stanislav. Catch. Yeah, I know you're more of the sword and shield type, but sometimes a little extra reach might not be the end of the world. I think you can still smite off of that thing. So, if you ever want to like hit somebody and stay outside of their swipey range, that thing helps.
Whoa.
I'd have to swap it out for the shield, but I mean that might be a good trade-off.
I mean, I'm not necessarily saying it's going to be something that you're going to want to run in every situation. Don't get me wrong, but there will, I'm sure, be at least one time where you would like to hit somebody and stay out of their sword range, and that will do that for you. I'm off to a farm to see about buying some horses.
okay.
Yes.
What
What are
an
you?
euphemism?
No. You go do what you need to do. I need to get my horsey back.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Good idea. We'll have fun with that. I will see you folks shortly. Probably. Maybe.
All right. So, Romalia is heading north to the O'Reilly farmstead, where you have been told you may be able to buy at least a draft horse, possibly a riding one if they haven't all been sold already. Stanislav and Gregory, what would you two like to do in the meantime, just while this is happening?
I'll go with Stan. I can go with you to the sword place. I gotta wake up. I gotta go for a walk.
All right, sounds good.
Okay.
Hello.
And as we start walking, I'm gonna just pat you on the back and put 5 points of lay on hands to neutralize all of the alcohol in your system.
Okay, there you go.
Ah!
You produce hydration. There you go. So as
Whoa.
Stanislav places his hand on your back, and you feel that very familiar radiant aura kind of fill your body, you notice the effects of your hangover begin to dissipate. You're still like a little groggy in terms of like the late night of drinking, but definitely no longer feel like puke.
That was wow. Oh. Huh. Okay. I'm like ready to do things now. Like should we go save somebody? What?
Let's hold on, buddy. Let's go get me an axe potentially. Come on.
Okay. Oh yeah, weapons. Let's go buy weapons. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so that we can smash some stuff.
Just gave Gregory a shot of espresso.
I was going
Only
with adrenaline
espresso.
shot to the heart, but that
Yeah.
works too.
Yeah,
What's the
actually,
difference,
yeah, that's
dude?
more.
What's the difference?
Yep.
You Pulp Fiction me.
It's like just a really nice hug that actually cures your
Aw.
hangover.
A caffeinated hug.
Yeah.
I
So
like
yeah,
this.
to the blacksmith.
To the blacksmith. You make your way
let's
out of the Last Watch Inn, take a very brief jaunt up the street to George's Forges, where you find the door open and just a little bit of smoke has begun to billow out the chimney in the back, where you know his forge to be located.
And right before we go in, I have this 8 to 10 foot pike that I've been carrying. I know he just took this out of there to give it to me, but I
Probably
don't really have
closer to
anywhere
6 feet if I had to guess, because like
Did you
yeah,
want to put it
it
back in
reaches
the
to-
box?
if that's all right, yeah, please.
Yes, absolutely.
To open up the box and just
I drop it in and just kind of watch and like
Yeah,
stupor as it just.
vanishes
I don't think
entirely.
I'll ever understand that shit, but that's
You know,
fucking
I really
cool.
don't either, and it's mine.
close it really.
Let's go.
All right, walk through the door.
Yeah, as you enter, you find George is not yet working the forge, he's just letting it heat up at this point. He's kind of organizing some of his inventory, filling spaces from where Otten or Romalia had removed just a whole bunch of his merchandise to, start arming his little armada.
Yep.
But it seems
Oh
like
my
he's
God.
managed to get most of the stuff filled. It's still very
Yep.
basic gear. And as you enter, you do see your former longsword just sitting on the counter, kind of on a little bit of like a silk sheet, just so it doesn't get the blade tarnished or anything. It's just a nice little display.
Or so it doesn't damage his counter.
That too.
Yeah.
And as you come in, he kind of notices the door, or a shadow, a giant hulking 6-foot-tall tiefling shadow block the sun coming through the door.
I am the sun.
Yeah, with billowing hair. I know. And he kind of just looks up. He says, yeah. Managed to have a look at that thing last night.
Did you determine the level of its fucked upness?
No, it's pretty fucked up. There's no other way to put it. It's not a pleasant tool. That being said, it is very useful.
I did kill a Goblin King with it.
Really?
Yeah, it was crazy. You should have been there, man.
That's right.
He kind of like eyes you up and down, and based on your look, he gathers it's probably reasonable to believe. So I had it checked out. My colleague of mine came over. It's not something I think I'm going to be able to sell out of the store, but I do know a couple collectors who might be interested in it. So if you're looking to make a trade, I'll take it off your hands. If only to make sure it doesn't end up in the hands of anyone else.
That's definitely fair. I mean, that axe looks like a really nice weapon. Is that something you'd be willing to do?
The axe for the sword? Deal. He grabs the +1 great axe you had looked at the previous day and kind of just like holds it out in two hands.
It was a battle axe because he had the club, which was the two-hander.
Yes, it was a battle axe.
Right?
Thank you for correcting me. Yeah, no. So he hands you the battle axe that you had looked at the previous day.
Just take a step away from everything and just give it a couple little spins.
Yeah, how do you like it?
That is a nice piece of weaponry right there, I can tell you.
Work hard on all my stuff.
Greg's eyes are just sparkling.
You seem in a very good mood
Impressive.
today, young one.
Oh, sorry. I just find this Stan is very what's the word? Inspirational when he swings a weapon.
It's
What's the word
easy.
for that?
Yeah, easy to be inspired by a giant shiny gold man. To be fair.
He's not
Look
wrong.
at just the raw destructive power.
So, deal's a deal.
Stanislav holds out his hand.
He reaches out his like just dirty, calloused, soot-covered blacksmith hand and just shakes it, leaving kind of like a little bit of black kind of just smear on your golden skin.
Stanislav feels honored. That's the handshake of an honest, hardworking man.
Yep, and he takes your sword and immediately like just turns to the back of the counter, pulls out a small key, opens up a glass container where the battle axe was also held, and just puts the kind of hangs the sword up on a mount and closes it, locks it back up. Anything else I can get you, or are we all done?
I think I'm good. Can I give you a hand with getting your forge started potentially? It'll just take me a second.
Yeah, it'll be good. It's just heating up. He goes
Wait,
over
sorry,
and kind of just like puts
missed
his hand on the giant billow and just pushes down on it once, and like you see the forge begin to just glow at an ever increasing rate. Seems like he's got this covered. He's probably been handling this shop for the last 30-40 years or so.
I was gonna do a little thaumaturgy favor for him, but that's okay.
Yeah, he doesn't like it when people cast in his store. You know that.
It doesn't. I gather that he doesn't seem like a very.
He's not a fan.
He doesn't like magic. He likes money.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
Well, I appreciate the trade. Thanks for the business.
Yeah, if you find any more cursed things like this, I'll get you in touch with someone else.
Yeah, probably just. I won't take those ones next time.
I'll believe it when I see it.
That's fair. Bye now.
Have a good day.
Sure.
And he
Bye.
goes back to the forge, and now he begins heating up some what looks to be another horseshoe that he's been working on.
And I'm the proud owner of a +1 battle axe, right?
You are now the proud owner of was it a +1 battle axe or was it the vicious weapon?
I don't remember.
I'd have to go back and watch the VOD. You know, I'm just gonna say it's a +1.
Okay.
Yeah, fuck it, it's +1. There you go. I'm pretty because the club was the vicious one, if I remember correctly. Either way, you now have a +1 great axe in your possession that you are
Battle
you know,
axe.
whatever. It's a fucking axe, dude. Just take it.
Thanks, God.
You're welcome, peasant. Anyway, so
Go back to my washboard now.
As all that is happening, Romalia, you make your way northward out of the city gates and find yourself standing in just stark contrast to the land you left behind just over the southern border.
But I was told, given general direction to, was it McCree's farm?
O'Reilly.
O'Reilly. Why did I say
Farmstead.
McCree? Anyway, whatever. Yes, so I'm headed to O'Reilly's farm.
Yeah, they kind of gave you a little bit of a brief idea. It's about 10 minutes north of town, kind of, it's got like a number of houses kind of all situated together. There's kind of like a family commune type deal.
Gotcha.
And as you kind of just weave your way along this road, you're kind of greeted by the smell of flowers in the air, the soft breeze on your face, and just rippling fields of grass. And as you look further, kind of coming into the more abundant farmlands, you see fields of wheat, corn, various crops, and already a fairly large number of people out in the fields working. You see some still kind of slowly trickling their way out. You gather those are the stragglers who may have imbibed a little too much the night before, much like your comrades.
I'm gonna look around and pull someone aside and ask, like, if I'd like to inquire about purchasing some horses. I was told this would be a place to go. Where who would I talk to about that?
Oh, you're probably gonna want to find the O'Reillys.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they got more horses than anyone at this point. We all use ours quite a bit. So what you're gonna and he kind of just like points you in the direction. He's like, head about 5 minutes that way, take a left, and it'll be the 4 kind of houses clustered together at the end of that road. It's really hard to miss.
Any particular one house of the 4 that I need to be going to, or?
There's one that's slightly bigger. That's usually where the old man O'Reilly's hanging out.
Understood. Thank you so much for the help.
Yeah, no
And
worries.
I will. What do I have? I think I have a copper I've been burning to get rid of.
You have been trying to dump that copper on someone.
No, it's a silver. I'll give them a silver piece.
Okay.
I'll give them a silver piece for the help. And now I don't have.
You just paid him like a month's wages, and he just not quite, but he like very quickly puts it into his pocket and ties that change purse up like tight.
Yeah.
You gather, if anything, he's carrying mostly copper, and he continues southward, kind of makes his way into a field where he.
And I'll head off to the O'Reillys.
Okay. It's fairly easy to find. Like I said, take a left, 5 minutes, and you find 4 houses kind of clustered at the end of this road. The largest of which is directly at the end of it. The other 3 are kind of spaced out around it.
I will head directly to the end then and knock on the door.
Very plain, single level home. Nothing too fancy. 2 windows in the front, single wooden door. As you approach up and knock, you hear the sound of shuffling inside, moving quite slowly. And as you kind of begin to get a little impatient, you see the door open, and you just kind of a hunched over old man, kind of like, looks like he's got a bit of a sore back. He's not standing as straight as one normally would. You can tell the time hasn't been exactly kind to this man working his whole life in the fields. He kind of just looks at me and says, hi there, what can I do for you?
Hello. I'm looking to buy some horses, and I was told this was the best place to do it.
Looking to buy some horses. How many you need? We've got a few. He's kind of like holding his back the whole time this conversation is happening.
Either 2 or 3, depending on what type they are.
Follow me, if you please.
Absolutely.
And he kind of waves you into the home and leads you towards a back door that leads out into kind of more of an open field, fenced in kind of livestock.
I love him.
Type area. Hey, he's adorable. He's a cute little Irish dude. And he kind of just like hobbles his way out, grabs a cane as he is leaving the back door, kind of just canes his way out. He's moving quite slowly compared to you. Like for every one of your strides, he'll take 2 or 3 at this point, feet barely lifting off the ground.
It's fine. There will be a point while this is going on where I have one dagger that's not the one that I keep on my arm that was left over, and like Otten will zone out for like half a second, and he will catch himself halfway through flipping the dagger through his fingers, realize what he's doing, and slowly put it away.
Doesn't even notice you.
Yeah,
You gather it's too hard for him to turn his head at this point, so he kind of just puts his head down and keeps walking, eventually leading you to a large stable in the back where you see a young red-haired gentleman and a young woman with kind of a little bit more of a kind of like strawberry blonde-esque hair.
Alright.
And they just appear to be working together. One of them is currently brushing one of the horses. The other just appears to be kind of cleaning up and tidying up around the barn, shoveling shit. You know how it goes.
Right. Yeah.
The
he
old
kinda
man's
walks
head
his-
has the turning radius of an 80s beer.
Yeah, he does like the whole body turn, like original like Batman,
Right.
from like way back in the day, where he has to like turn his whole body when he's surprised by something.
As it should be.
Look lively there, lads. We've got someone looking to buy a couple horses. And the two kind of look up and a little surprised. People don't generally spend a whole lot of time buying horses out in this area. You generally gather people just raise them themselves.
Hi there.
The young man kind of looks at you and nods. The woman gives you a brief moment of attention before she goes back to taking care of the horse she's currently tending.
Absolutely. So is this the lineup of what you have for sale?
We've got a few. I think some of the others are out on a couple of the other horses. But yeah, these would be about the ones that we have for sale.
Okay. I'm gonna look them over. I've seen horses. I don't necessarily know
No,
a lot
no.
about them.
I'm not going to make you roll for this.
Okay.
You spend a minute. There's probably, I'd say, about 4 horses in here currently
Okay.
being tended to. One brown, one white with a brown patch right between its eyes. One is almost all black except for a few white spots that have made their way down the front part of the legs and kind of
Right.
near where the hooves are. And then the other is this just disheveled looking, hardy, like bulky, like a Shire
Yep.
horse level, just big, burly, just a few teeth missing. The hair
that
is
one.
kind of matted, and you gather this is a horse that has seen a lot of work, but doesn't seem all that perturbed about having to do so.
Okay.
What's with
Definitely,
the biggest balls?
they're all
do you want
female. They're all lady horses now. Congratulations.
me-
The question still stands.
for the sake of mechanics, do you want
I hate you all so much. Continue. For the
do you
sake of
want me to
mechanics.
roll? Do you want me to roll and see how many of these are draft and how many of these are riding horses?
No, I'll tell you. So the big, disheveled looking motherfucker
Yep.
is definitely a draft horse. Like this is
Yep, I
a
figured.
field horse.
Yep.
This is a plow horse. The there is one other similarly kind of like labor horse, and then the other two are a bit smaller, a little more nimble looking, and you gather would be very suitable to riding.
So two
mean,
riding
Yeah, there's 2 riding horses and 2
draft horses.
draft horses.
I wasn't gonna, but I'll take all 4, actually.
Okay.
I'm gonna reach into my coin purse. I'm gonna pull out, or no, I'll ask. Actually, I'm not gonna get ahead of myself because on a meta level, I know about how much they cost. I'll ask how much for all 4 of them.
All 4, you say?
Yeah.
Quite a bit. You'd be
I mean, and while we're at it, do you happen to
Clearance
have a
out.
wagon?
no wagons handy.
That's fine.
Unfortunately, we have some
Don't
plows
worry.
if you're looking for that, but
Perhaps at some point, actually, and
So,
if that's the case, I'll keep you in mind.
for the lot, since you're buying in bulk, 200 gold pieces, and we'll call it even.
I'm not big at negotiating, and everyone deserves their fair pay. And I'll pull out 200 gold, and I'll hand it to the guy.
He just takes a minute to count it, but like again,
Yep.
very slowly, like almost 1 coin at a time.
I'm getting what I want
until
and I'm
one of
not on
the
a
the
clock.
sun literally comes over at one point and kind of just like, I'll handle this, Grandpa. Don't worry about it. And he kind of
Just
just
like the sloths at the DMV.
yeah, he kind of just like gently nudges him aside and like starts counting the gold and stacks of 10. Eventually, seeing that you've paid him the full 200, it's all good. He's seems to be on the up and up. And the old man kind of looks at me. I kind of figured as much, thank you. And he just goes back to what he was doing. He grabs the money, puts it inside what it is not a coin purse anymore. Like that is
Sure.
the more money than his coin purse will fit. So he just essentially grabs like a saddlebag from nearby and shoves the gold
Right.
into it, closes it, slings it over his shoulder. You see his
Thanks,
back
sir.
arch just a little more as the weight of the coin kind of begins to weigh him down a little bit.
Perfect. What about a cart? Do you have a spare one of those? You mentioned a plow. Do you happen to have a cart?
Unfortunately, no. We
That's
need all the
fine.
carts we've got. We
Absolutely.
take them up to the market every.
But if I did want to look into a wagon or a cart, where would I go for that?
We special order ours from Goldbrush.
Okay.
It's a bit of a trip. They have to
Probably none in town. Understood.
You might, I mean, if you look around, you might find a farmer or two that might have one, but
Okay.
for the most part, most are pretty well in use at this point, I'd say.
All right. Well then, for now, if you have saddles, I'll take a saddle for each. How much will that run me?
Sorry, neighbors being assholes again.
That's
Saddle for each. All we've got is the saddles we use.
Or however many saddles that you have for these fine steeds.
You can do 2.
2. All right. I'll take 2.
He just like kind of looks them over, grabs one of the nicer ones, and then like the oldest one on the rack.
Yeah, it's fine.
For both, we'll say 15 gold.
I'll give him 16 because I have 136 gold pieces.
There you go. Yeah, getting rid of the chump change. I love it.
Yeah, well, I have more platinum, so it's not like I'm out of gold, but like
Jesus.
I want to have a nice even number. So
Yeah, to be fair, you guys have been sitting on this money for like 6
Yeah,
sessions
for a
at
little
this
while.
point, so you got quite a
perfect.
build up. Yeah, so you are you gonna be leaving with the horses right now, or do you want us to get them ready for you? What?
I
Can hold them for the time being if you need.
Yeah, hold them. I'm gonna bring a couple folks by later today. So we'll make use of 2 of them, and the other 2 we'll probably bring with us.
All right.
So I'll be back later today.
Okay. He kind of looks to his grandson and the other woman who's there, who still to this point has not said a single word. Like she's very just being very attentive to this horse. She doesn't really
Fine.
seem to care about all the goings on around the farm per se. He kind of just looks
speak
at
common.
for as much as you know. Yeah, he kind of just looks at them. He says, "All right, well, get to it. They'll be here to pick up the horses soon. Can't have you sitting around being lazy." And the grandson kind of just looks at him and raises an eyebrow, and he kind of like starts walking back towards the door of the barn. I'm gonna go have a whiskey, and he just makes his way back into the house for his 9 a.m. whiskey.
Best man ever.
All right.
Yeah, and he just like he doesn't even see you out. He just kind of leaves you standing there doing what you will, and just slowly makes his way back to their little farmhouse.
All right. I'm gonna go full speed.
Okay.
And I'll head back into town. And I doubt they're still at the blacksmith, but I am gonna head to the blacksmith's.
Yeah, no, they probably finished up by now. So
I would imagine,
you get there and don't find anyone at the blacksmith.
Okay, well, that's fine. I know I just bought a whole bunch of stuff from you, but I'm gonna buy a handful of things again.
As he sees you coming, he's like, "Ugh, I just got them restocked. What do you want?"
Not nearly as much. I'm going to... Oh, now I have to go to the armor. I know it's 50 gold, I just don't remember. Oh, it's up here. I'm gonna spend 50 gold on a chain shirt.
Sure. Yeah, no worries. Any of the
Uh,
basic shit you want, just take the
oh.
gold out, add it to your inventory, you're all set.
So it's gonna be 50 gold for the chain shirt. I'm gonna buy a replacement pike, so that's another 5, so that's 55. I should have done the math ahead of time. 55, and then I'm gonna buy 2 shields, so that's gonna be 75. And I think that's it.
All right, call it 70, you
Yes.
got a deal.
Sounds good to me.
Spent a lot of money in here over the last 3 days. Honestly, I could close the doors and go on vacation for 2 months if I wanted to at this point.
Well, that's your prerogative.
Hmm.
Wish you the best of luck with that.
Have a good
So
day.
yeah, you too.
He
And I'll-
begrudgingly starts grabbing shit to put it back on the shelves, like almost passive aggressively. Not quite, but like he's like, "This is the last fucking time I'm doing this today," and just kind of goes about his work.
Motherfucker, you own a business and this man is buying you out. You should be happy as hell.
He's a 65-year-old man. Okay.
No.
So yeah.
I love it.
Okay.
Um,
So, for the sake of brevity,
Yeah.
since you've now got everything you've needed, got all your gear in tow, what are we going to be pursuing? Are we planning to go meet the individual? Are we heading to the temple? What's the game plan?
I would have also really quickly like ran over to the general store and got some like non-perishable like
Yeah,
meal
if
pack
it's like
thingamabobbers,
if it's a mundane
some more clothes,
yeah,
shit
if
like
it's a
that.
mundane item and you have the money for it, it's in the PHB or anything. Just
Okay.
get it. You don't even need to tell me. I trust you.
I'm going to take the hide armor back from my brain just shut down from Gregory,
Yep.
and I'm gonna hand him the chain shirt.
Okay, sounds good.
So yeah, I'm back to having 5 sets of armor, but now your AC will go up by 1 additional point. I'm gonna put the shield in my inventory because there is a chance that I will. There's a chance that I may need to go into melee combat, and if that happens, I want it there.
Never hurts.
I've also resummoned Bathir or Ikesh. Sorry,
Yep, you're all good.
he has bigger nuts this time.
Romalia, as you make your way, make your way back to the Last Watch Inn after purchasing all your goods, you do see a familiar, shiny golden horse standing outside the doors by the entrance to the stables.
I'd love to be mad, but I can't. Can't be upset.
Okay. So, what do you guys want to do? Which alley are you gonna pursue? Like, which you have a few things that have been laid out in front of you as possibilities to do. Where does your interest lie?
I mean, personally, I already kind of agreed to take up a job and make
That
it.
guy seemed like he needed some good help, and I feel like we could help him.
And I mean, we have our own incentives for taking on the Imperium. I think each one of us has our own incentives. And frankly, I'm not real big on being guilted into work when it wasn't, had nothing to do with us. So, if the church still needs our help when we get back, and we're finished with the job we're about to take, fine. Otherwise, it's not really a primary concern for me. It does remind me, though, I procured extra horses.
Okay.
So, yeah, I was getting a little bit tired of having the whole only some of us on horses and some of us not. We have 2 horses that have saddles, so Gregory, you and I can actually be on saddleback, and we'll have 2 draft horses that can carry anything that we don't want to put in the box. It'll give us some options. And if we find a wagon or a cart, we can attach it to our carrying horses. So we'll have more options because we've been doing a lot of traveling. And if we pick if we pick some stuff up and we can't put it in your box, or we don't want to put it in your box, we can do that now.
Wow, that's incredible. Thank you. I got to admit, turning into a horse was fascinating but difficult.
And I mean, you never know when you're going to want to have that shape-shifting ability for an actual fight. So, and I saw one particular horse with the tiniest balls and the biggest body that I think that you'll really enjoy.
Get away from horse balls, please.
Fascinated.
Can we just take a step in a different direction?
I apologize.
It's like a fucking leap this direction, please.
All right.
No worries. So
Let's meet up with the guy, and then we'll go collect horses.
all right. So looking at the small note, I guess, or instructions he left you on where to meet, you pretty quickly realize that where you just were buying your horses is probably about a stone's throw away from where you are supposed to be.
Excellent.
So the 3 of you make your way northward out of town, following the kind of just winding country road to the farmsteads beyond. And as you're approaching, you see what appears to be I'm not going to say inactive farmstead per se. There are torches, there are like visible light coming from the inside, but the house itself is extremely run down, it does not have the appearance of being maintained any time in recent years. If it is inhabited, it's by someone who really no longer works the fields, as all you can see are a small handful of vegetable plants kicking around. Maybe some corn, what appears to be some potatoes, for any of you who are inclined towards the agricultural stuff. Doesn't appear to be anything all that fancy. But I will drag you guys over to the map now, once I find where I put it. Bam! There you go. So, you approach this kind of small, run-down farmhouse in the middle of this field, where you see a just kind of simple winding path approaching a front door that just appears to be made of wood, but it's not in great shape. You can see some rot in the corners where, like, you can pretty much see into the house. The door is being held on, but not by much. Did you lose your microphone there, bud?
Who, me?
No, I'm just making it pretty.
There you go. It's so beautiful. And as you approach, you don't see anyone standing outside. The door is currently closed. Doesn't appear to be any guards. Nothing.
I'm gonna pull out my crossbow. This is an actual job, and this could still be a test. I'm gonna pull out my crossbow, knock a bolt, and I'm gonna scan. I want to know if like this is a setup.
I'm also gonna remember what the church told me about undead things, and I'm gonna use divine sense. So any undead within 60 feet that isn't behind total cover, I know about.
I've got both hands on the box.
You do not sense any undead within the vicinity whatsoever.
Okay.
Here's all clear. Otten, roll me, or Romalia.
Romalia,
Go ahead and roll me a perception check if you want to try to size this place up a little bit.
Yeah, that is a thing that I'm happy to do. So 24.
24. Okay. Looking around, you thought at first you didn't see any guards. And as you kind of look, you notice in the field, kind of on the next farms over property, about 20, 30, maybe 40 feet away from the edge of this home, there appears to be someone in the field, hiding and watching you all intently. Hiding pretty well. You gather you probably would not have been able to see him had you not got lucky.
Luck, buddy.
Yeah.
No, that's fine.
Oh no, it's coming. The toy box is coming.
Just the one that I see.
Yeah, he's not doing anything per se. He's essentially crouched within the fields with one hand kind of resting on his elbow, resting on his knee, just watching you, monitoring you as you approach the house.
I am gonna go forward. I'm gonna keep out of the corner of my eye. I'm gonna keep an eye on that guy, but I'm gonna half hide it.
Okay.
But like, if he notices me noticing him, fine. But like, I'm not gonna try to antagonize my new employer.
Yeah, no, he notices you. Definitely sees you. Make eye contact with you. You see like his eyes narrow a little bit. Like, how did he see me?
I'll just give him a nod, and I'll knock on the door.
He nods, and as you turn and knock, the door opens slowly, and you see standing there before you, very familiar individual from the previous evening that you had met in the pub. And kind of just, we're glad you can make it.
We're glad to be here.
He kind of just holds the door, and gestures in. You enter the home. Smells similarly musty, like old, partially decayed wood that has just been left to rot over the years. The thatch ceiling above you definitely has a fairly sizable buildup of mildew or mold, based on what you're guessing, just based on the smell. But there is a functional table, a fireplace that currently appears to have a pot of stew boiling over it. Other than that, there's a staircase leading into a basement, and what appears to be a closed door on the southern wall.
I'm gonna mentally tell Ikesh, please make sure that none of our new friends are on the way. We'll be back in just a bit.
Okay, I got it.
So
You hear the familiar voice in your head as you speak to your horse camel person thing.
Horse today.
It's horse
Or
today.
horse.
Yeah.
Is there is there anyone else that I need to be attentive for, or is it just the one guy outside?
Oh, you only saw the one.
I figured there was more, but you had one loose end.
He leans out the door. We're all clear, lads. And you see now 3 different individuals all stand from various areas around the property.
Wow. I'll give you
You
guys
just
credit.
barely saw the one. It was so close.
Stanislav is impressed.
I'll give you guys credit. You would have been a bitch to handle. And for me, that's impressive. And
Yeah.
I'm just going to put the crossbow away.
There's one more. Grab a seat. And as you all kind of head over to the table, pull out a chair, he closes the door, and you hear, coming from the wooden stairs below, just the sound of thundering, I'd say footprints, but not quite. Sounds vaguely familiar to what you would have heard when the satyr was out walking about, but much bigger. And there's this slight sound of metallic footsteps hitting. And as you all kind of look to the stairs to see exactly what this is coming out, you see two massive black horns kind of emerge from the shadows, and the hulking figure of a massive muscle-clad minotaur standing before you. And at that point, we are going to take our break for today and have our new character introduce himself when he gets in at the end of the break.
Minotaur, let's go!
So,
Excuse the heck out of me.
yeah, we got minotaurs. So we're going to go ahead and take our 10-minute break now. We're a little ways into the session. It's a little more of an RP one, so probably a bit of a shorter one today. We will have our good friend Peter joining us when we get back. In the meantime, we'll see y'all in 10. Please do stick around.
Yeah.
And we're back with the Peter. What's up? It's our Minotaur. So, this is our newest. What happened? What?
Oh, just that was energy, buddy. I love it.
I was excited. There's
Yeah,
a new
it
player
was-
at the
it
table.
was
I'm allowed
great.
to be stoked, dude.
You absolutely
Minotaur balls.
Minotaur. Why? Why are you just
Anyway,
fixating on balls tonight?
No
Uh,
balls, but thanks, Pat, so much for having me. I'm,
I appreciate
stoked
you coming
to be
in.
here.
Thank you for coming in to fill up this slot. We appreciate you. Quick, very, very brief recap. You guys did a little shopping and eventually made your way to the area where you had been asked to go by your most recent employer. Upon arriving, noticed a couple scouts outside, keeping an eye on things, though not acting aggressively in any way. Knocked on the door, were allowed entry by the man you had spoken to the evening prior, and were introduced to the sight of a hulking minotaur emerging from the basement below. And that is where we left off. So, Peter, if you'd like to give an introduction of both yourself for the stream and description of your character, we'll start off with that.
Yeah, no, 100%. Mantuka is a 6'5", big brute of a build. Minotaur, like you said, with large horns. His hide's like a light brown from like numerous exposed sun-baked days. Numerous scars throughout his body through battle. He's a large black mane. It's kind of like it's getting a little more gray than black. You know, age has not been his friend. He's got like a milky eye due to like some type of gangrenous injury. Other than that, he's got a leather harness across his chest. He's got a halberd slung across his back with a twirling a great axe.
Romalia, you said we're sitting around like a table now, yeah?
Oh yeah, they've essentially been offered a seat. It's up to you whether or not you took one, but
I'm gonna sit down. I'm gonna fold my hands, down on like my lap, and my thumb is just gonna be like stroking the edge of the hilt of the dagger that I keep on my forearm up here.
Mhm.
With the arrival of this minotaur, like Romalia is remaining composed, but is uncomfortable at this moment in time.
Fair enough.
You see a
I
shiny
have that
golden
effect.
tiefling staring at you in awe.
Yeah, so
Unabashedly.
I guess if we'd like, starting from Stanislav, if you'd like to describe yourself to our new party member and the new people hanging out in chat. We got quite a few folks in here, so starting from the top, go ahead.
So Stanislav is like kind of awkwardly stood up, and he's a few inches shorter than you, but you can still tell he's a pretty big boy. He's literally a shiny golden tiefling, with shiny golden hair and horns. Like all the above of him is shiny. He's got what look like sort of used to be really nice clothes, but he's ripped the sleeves off to reveal his rippling muscles.
Of course, as
they
you
were
do.
too restricting.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
And he has this
Arm movement.
yeah. And he has this like sort of serpent tattoo sort of deal going down his right arm. And then there's kind of like the head of the serpent on his hand, but it has like fangs underneath and a mouth. And if you look at it close enough, it actually sort of like moves a little bit here and there. Yeah, and he has a much smaller axe and a nice bronze shield.
Much smaller axe.
And
Yeah.
and
Stanislav's having
just
some
like,
inadequacy problems right now.
no, I mean, he's just kind of, I mean, he's never seen a minotaur before in his life, and it's pretty obvious.
You
He
have.
like looks at your horns.
You have seen a minotaur before. You guys were being hunted in Lysia. The enforcer
yeah,
for
that's
the
right.
the hunter was a giant minotaur. This is the second minotaur you've managed to track down. But
Still in awe. Yeah,
it's
minotaurs are
way cooler.
a way bigger horned brother.
All right.
Yeah,
Next
that's
up,
Stanislav.
Romalia. Until recently, Ottenvow.
Yeah, so I've got longer. When I first joined the party, my hair was probably like relatively short. It has grown out some, and I haven't maintained it yet. So it's combed back so that it's out of my face, but it is definitely not. It needs some more attention, to be sure. Relatively lean person. I do not look like I could work very well in the fields. And I am, for example, like I'm just not physically fit, but I do seem to be nimble, and I am like eyeing everything constantly. My hair would be black, and I have green eyes, and yeah, just a relatively slim person who keeps crossbow on their back, and a bolt quiver along on their thigh, like with a side holster.
Alrighty. And last up, Gregory. Go ahead.
Greg's just a 16-year-old, blonde-haired, blue-eyed, got like a bouffant almost of curly blonde hair, and he's tiny little kid, and he's just holding this box. It's purple and it's yellow and it's got a bunch of stars all over it, and he's just gripping it tightly, eyes very wide, right at the Minotaur.
Yeah. Looks like a children's toy box. Not that that's something a Minotaur would probably be all that familiar with, to be fair.
So how tall is Gregory? How tall are you, like in your tight teenage like form?
Like 5'2".
Oh, 5'2". Okay.
Reasonable height for a 15, 16-year-old. Yeah. Yeah. So as you
Pretty
enter
mean
the
of a boy.
room, you see these three individuals standing with your employer, the man who hired you for this particular job, whose name I have up in front of me somewhere, because I prepared ahead of time, of course.
Stanislav just like after he kind of snaps out of it. Oh, hi, I'm Stanislav. It's nice to meet you. Oh my God, you're so big. It's amazing.
Before we actually, whilst DM is looking this up, I am going to say to the guy, I'm like, first thing I'm going to say is that based on what you've said, it sounds like we're going to be in Empire territory. Yes, or at the very least, at the very least, clashing with Imperial resources. Yes,
Be
no?
clashing with Imperial men.
Excellent. I
But-
don't want your name.
Fair enough. It was more, yeah, fair enough. Mantuka, your employer, Kegon Lestrolo, is designed
you
by
know.
one of our viewers, which you would know.
Oh.
Your employer standing there, just kind of arms crossed, taken slightly aback by the gruffness of the statement, but not overly perturbed by it. You see these individuals kind of all gathered around the table, some sitting, some not, as he pulls up a chair. And kind of just looks at you.
I'm gonna go stand by my employer to his side.
He kind of looks up. He's like, I was gonna say you can just stand. There's only enough chairs for a few, and you gather you're a little too big for the chairs.
Hang my head in shame and go
Minotaur problems, bro. Yes, you take up a position behind your employer with your arms crossed, kind of just like looking over the party, somewhat menacingly. At least definitely a very intimidating figure. He kind of gestures to what appears to be a map of both the Imperium and the Kingdom of Eldris that he has been kind of sketching over and making markings, and he gestures to it. Now, I wish it was as simple as a few individuals that you need to deal with across a border, but unfortunately, it would appear that they've made their way within. There's been reports of an Imperium scouting party somewhere in the north, and, well, if we act outright against them, it could spell war. If we can get someone who is unaffiliated to perhaps cross paths with these individuals in the wilderness, and perhaps a fight ensues, or perhaps someone is captured doing something illegal, be beneficial for us. Last I checked, or last I heard, they were operating somewhere around here. And he points on the map, somewhere that is kind of like roughly like circled out around the southern edge of the Daggerwood Forest, which is a fairly, quite a massive forest that covers a large portion of the Kingdom of Eldris. So named because the trees, thank you, god damn, that was a brain fart and a half, are like noticeably thin but have quite a big overhang on them, so they kind of give the appearance of like stilettos sticking up here when you look through them, so thus given the name the Daggerwood Forest. However, there's just like 1 billion subs just came in. Holy shit. I'm gonna take a minute to say thank you, and I'm gonna get back to that is distracting on a whole lot of levels. Holy fuck. Mystics, thank you.
Aw, yay.
Oh my god. That's Rusty Expert. Yeah, you broke the
I'm
program.
Kane, woo!
Holy shit. Okay, so remind me I owe you just like a dozen subwheel spins at this point. You guys, that's insane. Thank you so much. We appreciate you all coming by. You guys are the absolute best. Fucking A. I might have to go out to TwitchCon after all. Everyone says thank you. You guys are the best. Thank you for supporting the stream so much. And giving Peter a nice warm welcome. Love to see it. I completely lost my train of thought. Where was I?
So we're at the dagger
Daggerwood
because the standing sticks with leaves on them.
Yeah, the standing sticks with leaves on them. That is what they're called. That is the definitive name of them in the rest of the campaign for now on.
Earth hair.
Earth hair. Oh my god.
Let's stop before we head down.
You're breaking Rusty. Rusty is breaking. It's fine, dude. Yeah, there's also an overabundance of bandits that claim residence here. It is arguably the most bandit-infested region of the entire continent, based solely on the fact it is extremely remote, it is very hard to get large numbers of troops into, and apart from a single small logging town far to the very north at the southern border of the Boundary Mountain Range, it's pretty much uninhabited. It's not an overly friendly place to go visit, we would say. Yeah. And he kind of gestures to this kind of like southern area that's probably, I'd say, 50, 60 kilometers within, kind of circled out, and fairly big circle. They haven't managed to narrow it down all that much as it stands. But they have a basic idea. He's kind of looking at it, and even on his face you can see a bit of a furrowed brow as he's kind of trying to just figure out the best way to go about this. The simple fact is, we need information. And while our scouts are good, they're not necessarily the greatest at traveling in small numbers. They still travel as a unit, and that unit is often noticed. Frankly, we need someone who's less affiliated to go in and handle things.
I mean, we're pretty good at handling things,
I am
for the most part.
It's such a shame that there's been so much bandit activity out there. It's like if you happen to be in the area, you could be mistaken for a bandit, and if that happens,
I might chop your head off. I mean,
it's unfortunate.
just saying.
Mantuka, kill all the bandits.
Yes, especially the ones.
I like
that
his
we-
attitude. Can he come with us?
you see Romalia, like for Gregory, I imagine would mostly notice this, but you notice like you would notice like Romalia has this moment of like another one, like this tiny moment of like Stanislav 2.0.
Another
Yes.
fucking musclehead in here.
Kill all the bandits that I point at. They are definitely bandits. And then I turn to Stanislav, and there will be glory.
Yes, thanks. I'm well
Yeah.
aware of it.
Okay.
It comes with that. I mean,
Duka
remember
wants
what happened
glory
last time.
too.
Yes, there's lots of glory for you. Yes.
Plenty to go around, my friend.
Okay.
All for me. Some for you. None for Gregory.
No, Gregory and I don't need honor. It's fine. But you can have my share.
I take.
I'm
I
just
s-
collecting things.
I slowly, I just turn over. I take it that this resource is going to be accompanying us on this job.
That was the idea. Well, it would be preferable if you remained undetected for the most part. When the time comes to make yourselves known, I'd like one of my own in there with you. And Mantuka here, and kind of gives him a pat on the chest, a little harder than he should have, and just doesn't even flinch, like barely even registers he's been touched.
Like when that guy drop kicked Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Pretty much, like just the hand stopped dead, and like you could it's almost a wince on the guy's face as he does it. He's proven himself very loyal. And
Mantuka get hazard pay? Question mark.
always.
You know, I once knew a guy whose name was Henry, and then the last initial K, 47, and he used to talk like that. It would be like, question, do I get all the glory? Addendum, must I share it? You know, it was great.
You talk a lot. Back to me. Do I get hazard pay? Question mark.
Yes, of course you get hazard pay, Mantuka.
The normal deal.
Normal deal.
Outstanding.
Little bonus for you if you can bring me one back alive this time.
You probably should take that bonus off table.
Bring me one back alive.
That's the idea.
That is a condition of your contract.
That's good.
I mean, I did pick these up, and Stanislav pulls out the manacles.
And I turn to
Maybe they'd come in
Stanislav.
handy.
And this time, if they beg for honor, don't kill them, please.
Slap these bad boys on him. And he like hits himself in the other hand with the manacle and locks it. And he's like, oh shit.
Well, Stanislav,
He looks around to no one in
I-
particular. Nobody unlock that.
I'm just gonna say, you know, as much as we're enjoying making a spectacle of ourselves, I actually don't know who would win an arena battle between your Mantuka and my shiny boy here. Maybe
I
one day
would
we'll find
I would
I
be
look-
curious to see that.
Mantuka
I like it.
turns around, super offended at the thought of this.
I would be careful.
Don't worry, buddy. I'm much more happy to be on your side.
Mantuka, try to calm down.
Good man, Mantuka. Good Minotaur. Believe me when I tell you, he's smarter than he sounds. And he will prove useful.
If he's like Stanislav, the minute that it starts fighting, I'm sure he's going to be incredibly useful.
I'm definitely not as smart as I sound, I think.
You know, I think you're
I would
exactly
imagine
as-
you're exactly as smart as you sound, yes.
Yeah, let's not sell it. We won't sell you too short, Stanislav, or too
Like,
highly. Depends on how you
thanks.
take it. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Stanislav looks genuinely like accepting of that. But also like he's like legit intimidated by Mantuka.
Oh, yeah, you should be.
Yeah.
Um,
You guys haven't seen
Well
this
then.
before, the two of you.
So you're saying that they were operating in the dagger? The dagger
Around.
Around.
Daggerwood Fort. That was the last report we had. We've lost a few scouts, and while we can't be sure they were involved, it seems highly likely.
Understood. Is there any particular large groups you're aware of? I'm new to the area, so I'm going to ask you for this intel. Is there any particular large groups of bandits that are operating under a specific commander? Will we be infringing on anyone's territory in this operation?
Territory? No, it's our territory. They're infringing upon it.
With respect, the man who owns the ground owns the territory.
Well,
Maybe.
that would be the High Lord, then.
It's not
And
quite
believe
what I
me,
meant, but
it would be
fair.
as simple as sending in an army to deal with it. It is possible. Any
Sure.
outright action we take against the Imperium could lead to war.
I'm mostly referring to the bandits. I'm not actually referring to the Imperium here. That way, I don't care. But generally speaking, if the underworld exists, it's hard to say that what they take isn't theirs.
Now, it's mostly bandit territory. I'd be surprised if you didn't run into any.
So there's no one specific bandit who's referring to the Daggerwood
Huh.
as their
Huh.
territory.
Several.
So
It's a
clashing.
new one every week.
Understood. Unfortunate.
Sounds like we'll have plenty to choose from.
The fortunate thing is they haven't been able to expand much beyond the borders because, well, they can't
The
organize.
The unfortunate thing is that means I can't pay someone for information and safe passage.
No guarantees, but
You pay me
It's a-
extra, I make you safe.
Not.
he's not wrong.
Thank you, Mantuka.
Mantuka here all night.
Well, about that, I think we're going to be leaving soon. But, yes, you'll be with us all night.
Well, let's not waste any time.
Well, we actually just procured some horses, so we'll be able to move out right away.
Have any questions? Anything else you need to know?
Any distinguishing emblems or markers that I'll need to be looking for on these people?
None.
Any
They're
particular...
trying to travel under the radar, but we noticed them coming ashore.
You said you want one alive. Does it matter which one, or is there someone I should be looking for?
Someone who can tell me something.
All right.
Don't bring me grunts. Be someone who knows things. Someone who can answer my questions.
We'll do what we can.
Good.
At first, Mantuka just bring me one. Now it gotta be smart one.
He kind of just looks at Mantuka as a kind of a nod of acceptance. I'll take what I can get. Preferably in one piece. As long as they're alive, though, don't mind.
Understood. Well, if I cut off any legs, I'll be sure not to bring them, and then you'll still have one piece. All right, Autobots, let's roll out.
I hate you. Oh god. I want
Is that a term of getting on the road?
Yes, actually, yeah. It's
I've never heard that before. It's kind of a weird one.
No, it's a great story. It involves like my crossbow coming to life. It was a story one of my uncles told. You know what? Let's talk about it on the road. And I'm like, I'm gonna regale them of like legends that I'm picking up about like some uncle that I don't have who told me about all of my weapons coming to life while I was asleep. It's a story that's like a mixture of the Transformers and the Toy Story. So
I'm just like 100% turning my back.
Yeah.
Turning my back and like walking out. Like I'm done with you like 17 seconds ago. And I want the
Mantuka
last
doesn't do
30.
talking.
No.
But yeah, I will take Stanislav and Gregory, and I will offer
Oh
to
wait,
escort.
one more question. How much are we going to get paid for this? I don't think we talked about that.
Yeah, that's important actually.
Oh, you all seem to be rushing out. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
I mean-
he reaches in his thing, pulls out a piece of paper contract, which he hands to Otten.
I just look at Otten.
He
I look
gathers
it over.
quickly. You're probably the business side of things in this group.
I look
Between the giant muscle-bound gold man of questionable
literal
intelligence and a literal teenager.
Yeah.
And Mantuka.
Does
and
it?
opens up. It's fairly basic contract. Goes over essentially everything that he went over.
Okay.
The condition on it is that you bring one person back alive that he can question.
And I'm assuming that Anything we take off their corpses is fair play.
It's all yours. And you can see on the contract, he's offering a 500 gold reward for completion, plus a bonus for any bandit heads you bring back of 10 gold apiece.
Okay.
That's more just cleaning up the neighborhood.
Hold it up. I'll tuck it away into my armor. Well then, let's go cleaning. I don't have any problems with this contract.
Yeah, it's very straightforward.
Yeah.
There's very little like legal jargon in it, whatever. It's almost like a bullet point, like essentially I agree to do these things. Sign at the bottom.
Are you
There's
letting
lot-
us know about the contract? Like, do we know?
Yeah, you would
I
all
mean,
have been there when he handed it to him.
Yeah, I would look it over, and you said it was 500, right?
500 plus a 10 gold bonus for every bandit killed. If you do not bring back anyone alive, it is only 200 gold for
Well,
killing them all.
it's 125 gold guaranteed apiece for a successful job. Extras if we hit the bucket notes.
And if you do a really good job, I'll throw in something extra for you. Keep what you find as well.
All in all, not a bad deal.
In the meantime,
Stanislav looks at the Minotaur. Looks like we're going to be chopping some heads off. He reaches up for the warrior's salute, or the warrior's handshake.
Mantuka, big shit-eating grin and delight of like decapitating fucking cretins that are unworthy. So yeah,
Yep.
predator handshake, brother.
Yep.
metal.
Let's go.
This is like just bulging muscle. That's all it is.
Just
Yeah.
like fast blinks a few times and takes a deep breath.
Uh,
Gregory, I want you to know that you can be cool without all the pizzazz.
I really, really hope so, because that's not. You should see my dad. Oh, wow, he's a tiny, tiny man.
That sounds like trauma that I don't have the time to sort out. Let's go.
Wait, I like grab your shoulder. I grab your shoulder as you're walking away, and I just pull him close. I was too scared to say before. I think Stanislav could beat that guy.
I lean forward. I'm like, Stanislav can get into range. Yeah, I think I agree.
He's our golden boy. He can do it.
We'll place bets later. I don't think it would be that hard to make them fight.
But he's also really big and scary, so I didn't want to say that in front of him.
Like I said, we'll test it later. Like when we finish the mission and all has gone well and we're really bored, all we have to do is say Stanislav plans on eating Mantuga's potatoes, and like we'll know which one of them is stronger on the inside of 5 minutes.
Yeah. Okay.
Why go for the
That's a
potatoes?
good plan.
Meanwhile, while you conniving fucks are trying to get us to kill each other,
Yeah, they're
I'm
just like skipping
outside
down the
showing
road
Mantuka
together,
my-
like going to murder some peeps.
I'm showing Mantuka my fucking 7-foot tall shiny golden warhorse that matches my shiny golden self.
It's pretty bitchin' warhorse.
Mantuka's like really like giving the war horse that's glowing like a wide berth because like it's not like natural. And it's fucking glowing. It's like a glow stick. Like it's really fucking weird to him. Or metal,
Yeah.
sorry.
Don't worry, he can actually understand you. You can talk to him.
Mantuka, no. I speak with animal. I talk to lots of animals.
But I mean, like, he can understand anybody who tries to talk to him, at least in normal speak.
Fancy devil horse.
Speaking of horses, let's walk and
You
talk.
say
and think up our
as you say
horses.
fancy devil horse, he kind of just cocks his head at you.
See? Devil. Mantuka no like. Mantuka walk. Devil's horse to here. He's just like trudging in the direction away
Horse just
from
goes
devil
like-
horse.
Gives you like a of derision, and kind of just like nuzzles up to Stanny a bit after the rejection.
Don't you worry, you're not the devil horse. I feed him an apple.
Just munches away on the apple.
My good shiny boy horse.
And you all make your way to the O'Reilly farmstead, where you have several large horses and smaller
All right.
ones waiting for you.
I mean, I think that this particular horse, it's not necessarily a riding horse. We could maybe put our Minotaur friend on it. Maybe we'll consider testing that another time. Stanislav, you're going to use Ikesh. That's fine. Gregory.
Yeah.
Do you want me to put baby on horse?
What?
And he just kind of like grabs like Gregory by like the scruff of
I-
the neck. Baby on
we're-
horse.
Yeah, this one has a saddle. Just put him on this one right here.
Is the saddle for a horse or for baby?
For the horse, put it down.
I'm very
Oh,
tempted
okay,
to
sorry.
answer that question differently, but yes, just put him on the horse. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep. You
I
very
got
helpful.
like Matt, Gregory, like good baby.
Thank you, Mr. Sir. Thank you.
So he puts you
Minutes,
down
sir.
on the brown, the kind of plainish looking brown horse with what, like a white spot between the eyes. It's a pretty big horse. I don't know how much experience you as a character have riding, but apart from, I guess your time on Ikesh was probably all right, considering
No,
he's a
yeah.
giant
I've been a
warhorse.
horse.
You have been a horse. That's true. You're quite comfortable with animals. So roll me an animal handling check real quick, just to see how you and this animal bond a little bit.
Stanislav looks at Molly real quick and just says, I don't think I'm the strongest one in our group anymore.
Who'd you say
just
that
hear
to?
Greg just kind of like
Ramalia?
make that noise.
Ramalia.
Yeah. So as you kind of like hop on the horse, you immediately, with a natural 20 for a total of 27, and just like sit down and like give the horse a couple scritches, reach down, give it a little scritch under the neck or under the chin, and it like immediately takes a liking to you. Kind of just you feel it relax underneath you.
I shall name him Zanzibar.
Sure.
Okay,
Call him baby,
write that down.
nobody puts
I am
baby in
not
the order.
remembering your horse names for you.
Zanzibar.
I'm not gonna lie. For the moment, I'm going horse 1, 2, 3, 4 until such time as we know they're gonna survive this job.
I need to write
Yeah,
that
that's
down.
probably fair.
It's too late now. You can't take back Zanzibar's name, dude. That's just mean.
His name is Zanzibar, aka
Sure as
Horse
shit can.
4.
I
All you do
appreciate
is
that.
eat
Thank
him.
you.
Zanzibar 4.
Do not eat them. Not yet. Preferably not ever, but especially not yet.
Yeah.
Waste not, want not.
Yes, when they die, that's a conversation that can be had, but they're currently very alive and more useful that way.
Yeah, when they die, yeah. So if we accidentally kill, we eat, and if we don't kill, we ride. The baby.
Let me be perfectly clear. If you kill my horses, I don't care how strong you are. You will never catch me. I will shoot your kneecaps out from underneath you, and you will never see tomorrow.
No, not kill. Use as cover, and then they die or something.
Gregory's just hugging Zanzibar Horse 4's neck. Just
He's just
I've made.
Don't
I-
worry. Don't worry.
I
There will be
believe
plenty
I've
of
made
food
my-
other than horses.
I
It will
believe
be
I've
much
made my
tastier.
position perfectly clear. Do whatever you'd like to with that information.
The guy over there is very broody.
Yes, I am.
Yes,
I am.
yeah. At this point, the old man noticed you guys in your stables, because I guess you just walked into his backyard.
Well, yeah,
Just
okay,
knocking
fine.
on the
Yeah.
door and shit. It's fine. No, it's implied. He kind of comes out. He says, "Oh, so you've come for your horses,
Yes, we have.
right? Well, maybe knock next time."
Well, yes. Hopefully, we'll be doing business together again soon. So I will. I'll try to remember to knock the next time we pass through.
Probably not with manners like that. And he just kind of turns around, goes inside, and closes the door behind.
Thank you for your.
Thank you.
The younger male in the stable kind of pipes out. He's, yeah, don't mind him. He's an ornery old bastard.
Yeah, I'm not particularly known for manners, so he's not wrong. Thank you very much for your patronage and everything you've done for us so far. All right, load those of us that can get on horses, load up, and those of us who can't, keep an eye on what's left.
Yeah, because you have 2 saddles, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so Otten and Gregory are saddled. I'm assuming Stanislav is riding Ikesh. And the Minotaur's hoofing it.
I mean, the draft horse technically can carry him, but it wouldn't have a saddle. So
Wouldn't have
it
a
would.
saddle. It could carry him. It's just not going to be comfortable for the poor thing, though. It's up to you. If you want to ride the big, kind of haggard-looking draft horse, you're welcome to.
I will attempt to do it until I hurt my Minotaur parts, and then we'll off and on.
Okay,
We'll spell off.
roll me an animal handling check.
Oh, let me tell you how good I am at handling animals.
Oh my god.
Boom!
Oh,
I'm
shit.
fucking awesome because I
You're
am
pretty-
an animal. What's up, yo?
Yeah, so you kind of approach the horse. You're big kind of bovine form. And just
Give him one of these. I hand you an apple.
I eat the apple and then seductively kind of slink up to the fucking horse, like to assert my dominance, just like I would like a fellow combatant. But from the back, all sneaky, as sneaky as that.
Tilts his head at you, but as you kind of approach, put your hands out, you just reach one, put it right on. You don't even pet him. You just put your hand down in between its eyes and hold it there, and it kind of just lowers its head. In not reverence, that's not the term I'm looking for here.
Submission?
Yeah, submission. There we go. We'll go with that. You've subdued this horse, and it doesn't look overly, like, enthusiastic about the idea of a giant minotaur riding it, but it's not gonna stop you.
I am his daddy. And then I'm gonna like mount my big ass leg with my iron hooves on top of it as it like slumps in like discomfort and submission and anger. If that was a soup that we could eat, that's what that soup would be.
Fair enough. Okay. So you managed to mount up on the giant, kind of just rugged looking Shire horse. There is a younger looking one that's like not nearly in as rough shape. I'm gathering you're gonna want to keep that for the best.
No, I want the haggard one. I want fucking.
Of course you do.
Lefty Lucy.
Yep.
All right, so we have one horse named. If the rest of you want to name your horses, I will not stop you. I hit the lever on my chair and I sunk down again. That scares me every fucking time. I hate that shit.
I want you to name my horse Gregory. Gregory.
Why?
Okay, Gregory.
Shut up, other Gregory.
Okay.
He was Gregory first, though.
No,
Just
I'm
saying.
fine with this.
This horse is Gregory first and Mantuka's heart. I don't know that thing, that child. Baby Gregory.
Baby Greg.
I'm so happy.
No, that's fine. I'm fine with this. I'm just like on the horse, just holding the horse.
Yeah.
I'm not asking permission. It just happened.
Right.
I'm like,
Absolutely, Minister.
I'm petting Gregory actual.
Just a little, like, aggressively. Just a very big minotaur hand. The horse seems to enjoy it. It feels like you're kind of getting some kinks out of the neck that have been there for like quite a while. So you're doing him a favor. Good old neck massage. They seem ready to go.
Stanislav and Kesh are both just kind of still in awe that you just ate the apple instead of giving it to your horse, but it works.
I mean, yeah, I'd like you all to meet horse number 2. Let's go.
Okay. With that, I'm going to go ahead and pull us over to the world map over here. We haven't done that in a minute. So, it's not that far of a journey to the southern portion of the Daggerwood Forest. The area that he pointed out was kind of centered around here on the O, like below the O, and kind of went as far as like up into this area. So it looks like they're operating kind of further towards the mountains as far as they can tell. Like they got inland and just headed as deep into the forest as they could feasibly get and still functionally operate.
Right.
Based on like horseback travel, you're looking at like not all that. Quite a trip. I think I have a scale on the map somewhere. It's in miles. I'm gonna just ballpark it to like the E in forest from Southwatch is probably about 3-4 days.
Okay.
Quite a trip.
Well, that's what we have horses for. It'll make this easier. Let's
Probably 3 with the horses.
let's get moving. We got plenty of ground to cover.
Yeah. Let's do this. We can do it.
Of course we can do it. It's us.
You all ride out of the stables and find your way onto the road northward. I need our newest member, Peter, to go ahead and roll me a D100. Just roll me a percentile, please.
D100,
Yeah,
of
let's
course.
pull out a couple
see what
of
our weather's
coconuts.
going to be for the day.
Only better if I was in the right menu. That'd be silly.
That does help.
Yeah, X gonna give it, dude. Boom. How's a 45 feel for you, DM? You like them apples?
I do, actually.
That I ate.
So do
Fuck
you,
horse.
apparently.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Oh,
Hey, do you
God.
like apples?
You know who doesn't? My fucking horse. Fuck you, Gregory.
Did you know gods of death love red apples?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Means they're
You're
pretty
colorblind.
smelt.
So 45. You're not far out of town, and like the weather here is not nearly as like bright and sunny as you would find in the Ember Steppe per se. And it doesn't take long before the sky begins to fill with kind of a dark gray cloud. Not necessarily like a massive storm front coming in or anything, but it isn't long before you start to feel the light trickle of rain. It's kind of coming from the sky and lightly hitting. As it begins to pick up, you hear kind of like making little clinging noises off the chainmail that might be exposed and the hilts of your weapons. It's a pretty steady rainfall, not exactly torrential downpours, certainly not thunderstorm territory, but it is raining pretty consistently, and you gather after a while it is going to start to be uncomfortable traveling in the rain for long periods of time. However, as many of our members,
cold weather clothing on.
You want? Yeah, sure. As many of our members, it is still summer. This is like summer rains, so a light jacket will do the trick.
The traveler's clothes, then yeah. I guess I would have done that already.
Yeah, a nice cloak, pull it up kind of thing would be fine. For the three of you who have spent the majority of your lives, or at least two of you have spent the majority of your lives in the sandy deserts of the Ember Steppe and the arid mountains of the Incendus mountain range, rain is not something you're all that used to. Happens a couple times a year, at most, if that. And as you kind of feel the cold rains kind of just hitting your skin, it's a stark contrast to what you've been used to. Gregory, too, to some extent. You haven't been back in these parts for a few months now. It's nice to be somewhere where it is not dry and just swelteringly hot all the time. Kind of take a moment to take it in.
He blesses our journey.
Of course.
Everyone who wants to, roll me a religion check. Or history would be acceptable as well, based on living in the Imperium. You'd probably have some knowledge of something.
-1 or -1. I'm not even going to roll.
Fair enough.
Religion or history. I think they're both 2. Yeah, they are.
Okay. So none of you really have any functional knowledge of what or whom Magus might be. But it seems that your new Minotaur companion seems to praise this individual in some shape or form.
Let me guess. Magus is a god who encourages you to fight with honor and power and pursue victory at all costs. Does that sound at all close?
He likes us to burn things too.
Oh, and burning things, throwing in. Okay.
In his name, in his honor.
Yes,
of
okay.
Victory.
Yes.
And controlled murder. Baby Gregory, close your ears. Adult speaking.
Okay.
Gregory, you don't
Did
have
you
to
just
close.
earmuffs Gregory? What the fuck?
I'm just gonna wave at Gregory. Gregory, stop. You're an adult.
Adult and baby body. Is this sorcery?
Right. I'm almost 16.
What's in the box?
Well,
I don't care.
I guess this is probably better to know now. I open the box and a tiny little fox pops out, little fox head, and he erupts into flame, and he just becomes a little fire fox, and he comes right on out, and he just kind of circles around me, and then just a little fireball shoots out of his mouth, and then he goes back into the box.
Does your hair catch on fire?
A little bit.
Not even a roll for it. Just a little
Devil.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna kind of back away from this, with my hand on my halberd, just a little confused with the shenanigans that are ensuing.
It's just filled with a lot of things. All helpful, I promise.
Put the fox back in the box.
It's
Box
in the
and box. Close box. Okay. Carry on.
He also has normal swords and stuff in there as well.
Yeah, quite a few things.
Why don't we start with that and not flaming fox?
I know, I thought that'd be a focal point. I'm sorry.
You thought wrong.
I thought that was pretty fucking cool.
And
thank you.
You stop talking, shiny horse. It's confusing.
I am definitely not a horse.
I am gonna say something real quick. Gregory is indeed young, quite young. I've led. No, I haven't led. That's a lie. But I've escorted younger out on the battlefield. So,
Child soldier, warlord.
I'm not a warlord. But if you're
Are you
going
a
to
child
teach...
soldier.
I was at one point, yes.
I like war.
I don't.
Oh,
I'm just good at it.
you pay me, I don't get you killed.
Sounds good to me.
Blackmailing us?
No, helping.
This is going to be a long journey.
I almost just want to end the episode there. That was such a perfect shot, but I'm not gonna. It's too short. 2 hours is not long enough for D&D. What? That's amazing. Holy shit. Okay. So as you just kind of weave along this very... It's pretty flat. Like, this is mostly prairie, almost. There's a couple, like, rolling hills, but very small. Not a whole lot of detail around. Just rolling fields of wheat and corn and just various different crops that you would have seen coming through here. And does not appear to be all that lively. As the rain is coming down, you notice some of the people working the fields have kind of begun to cluster and been working areas that might offer a little more shelter, or like some spots under trees and stuff, but they generally seem to be trying to avoid the rain, because the last thing you want to do is be out in the rain all day and get sick when you are a farmer and make literally nothing. So they kind of huddled up, taking a bit of a lunch break as you guys have spent a little bit of your morning talking. The rain continues throughout the rest of the day. How long are we going to be traveling? Because at a certain point, the rain is going to start to affect you guys. In terms of, like,
I mean, it's going to be three
wearing
basically
waterlogged
straight
clothes and
days.
everything. 3 straight days of travel. Okay, so if you guys
I
are
would
interested, we'll
imagine.
streamline that process.
Yeah, because I mean, we don't really have a need to stop, do we? Like, or am I missing
No,
something?
for at least the first 2 or 3 days at this point.
I need a long rest. Just one.
Just one?
Well, including
you will
long
have to camp,
rests
for
and
sure.
stuff. Like,
Yeah.
3 days of travel, including rests, was kind of, I thought, was kind of the assumption.
Yeah, 3 days including rests every night.
Yeah.
Full rests, and that's like moving at a reasonable pace too. If you wanted to go stealthier, you could go slower, or you could run, which potentially tires out your horses fast.
I was gonna say we're on horseback. Let's not push it.
Cool.
Yeah, and they all have at least 50 feet of movement speed, so that's
Okay.
a lot.
So you're doing a full 8 hours of travel in the rain, is what you're saying.
Why not?
Okay. Need everyone to roll me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Everybody gets +4 because you're all within 10 feet of me,
Everyone's
Everyone's
does.
doing a Constitution saving throw. Why not?
Ooh,
Oh, I
very good.
can
Gets a
do
10.
God damn it, there we go. Constitution saving throw.
this.
Oh,
Donnie.
I get,
Well, with the
Thanks.
+4s, you guys, like, Gregory is so lucky. So, with the 10, which is the bare minimum you needed, you do manage to stave off just the sheer exhaustion of traveling all day in the essentially what is pouring rain. The horses help. You're cold, you're wet, and as the sun kind of begins to move itself lower in the sky, it is getting to about the point where you're going to need to find somewhere to camp for the evening. Still in mostly open fields. There are a few trees that stick up here and there that weren't chopped down over the years for various reasons. So it is definitely time to start looking for camping. So you do manage to
Really
stave off
wet.
the exhaustion, which is good. Yeah, Gregory is just kind of like his normal blonde poofy curls have kind of just descended and kind of hang damply at the sides of his face. So,
Stanislav's hair is still perfect.
of course it is. Just
Yes.
has a little more shine in it now. Who is going to be looking for a good campsite? Because you guys are going to be camping at least for half of your evening in the rain.
I will.
So, yeah, I was gonna say, like, I have a survival of like 5, so if anyone is higher than that, they should be doing it.
On what is blessed do?
Gregory has 7.
Add to
I've
D4.
got +4 and it's advantaged.
And you're at advantage?
Yeah.
It's up to you. Can, like, and whoever wants to can roll. It's your choice.
I feel like the advantage is the
Gregory already rolled.
Everybody else roll.
Gregory already rolled.
Gregory already rolled and rolled an 11 total with a
Thanks,
+7.
Gregory.
You rolled like shit. So,
Greg.
as the rain kind of begins to wear on you and the travel of the day finally begins to take its toll, Gregory just starts complaining from the back of the horse convoy about how cold,
You told me
wet.
that this was going to be an adventure. It's been nothing but
We have-
alcohol and water.
I mean,
That's pretty.
for you, I think that is an adventure.
Yeah, it's true.
And I have a question for you, Gregory. Remember that last fight where you like were supposed to stay in the back and then you like ended up in the front?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, we're gonna probably end up doing that again. Are you in a hurry for that? Okay, so let's just enjoy the rain.
Yeah.
So-
No, seriously though, stay in the back this time. I would rather you not die.
With an 11.
100%.
With an 11 in survival. At a certain point, the complaining just kind of begins to grate on you, and at like every like half-dead, shitty, disheveled-looking tree, Gregor's like, oh, why don't we camp there? And he just essentially keeps trying to point out spots until eventually he annoys you guys into picking a tree to camp under. It is tall enough to pitch a tent under. It's not going to offer the most cover available, but it is now at the point where the sun has like begun to just disappear beyond the horizon. You're passing your 8-hour mark of traveling. Starting to look like this is going to be the best place you get for tonight.
All right, this will work.
Make the most of what we have.
At least you found something.
Let's camp.
A +7 rolled an 11. That's
Build a
brutal.
fire? Do we build a fire? Is that a thing we do?
I mean, that wouldn't be a bad idea. We're not on the hide of any. We're not hiding from anyone yet, so.
Okay, good.
That's a great idea. I go open the box, and the same little fox jumps out, and I cast fire bolt. I keep thinking it's fireball. That's not fire bolt at the ground, and then again, and then again.
Hold on. Fucking wait.
As you do it, it just
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
as the rain just puts out what little ember you managed to create. You quickly realize that not only are you in a field of crops, and perhaps setting the ground on fire is not your best plan, but also even if like you can't because it's pouring rain. You can try, but you're going to need to find some wood and perhaps not just light the wet ground on fire, though I do appreciate the effort.
And all the wood that we would find is probably soaked in water.
Yeah, it's looking pretty damn. It's doable, like it's especially with Gregory's magic. Like it's the firebolt would work if you built a little like actual campfire around it. But you are going to need to track down some wood that is moderately dry.
How big is this tree?
Pretty big. Probably about 10-15 feet tall. Decent canopy, but it's half dead and a number of the leaves have fallen off on one side. Or on both sides. It's not offering much cover, just the bare minimum.
I'm gonna go break off some of like the dead branches from the tree and climb it.
Sure, yeah, no, it's easy enough. You can roll me in athletics if you really want to, but it's climbing a tree and you're Stanislav, so you're gonna just go out on a limb and assume you'll be okay.
I mean, the tree's slippery. Makes
It
sense.
is. 14's
That
good.
was
Rolled 14.
Thank you, Michael. Notice the pun.
I
appreciate you, buddy. I appreciate
I
you.
do my best. Yeah.
Did you say slippery?
Hmm?
Did
I don't
you
even
say
remember the
slippery?
pun now. You missed it. It's over.
It was he went out on a limb.
Get it? Yeah, those don't happen often, guys, okay? You do manage to find some branches that have kind of been under what canopy of leaves remain, and it's still damp, but reasonably dry. You could definitely attempt to create a small fire with it, and especially using Gregory's magic to do so.
Nice.
Yep.
And as he's using his firefox, I'm using thaumaturgy to make the flames progressively bigger and bigger.
Easy enough. And you know what? In a matter of minutes, barely 2, you have a pretty roaring fire going. Kind of tucked enough, like, under the tree that it's, like, not going to get rained out immediately, and it's also not close enough that it's going to light the tree on fire. So you gather you're pretty safe. It is warm. You have enough shelter to stave off sleeping in the cold, wet, damp. I don't know if you guys have tents.
Nope.
I don't believe you
Bedroll.
ever once purchased tents in your life. So you're sleeping in a bedroll under a tree in the rain.
Next to my horse to keep me warm.
Yeah, well, I mean that's true. Actually, we've been in a desert. Although it would have been nice to have a.
Yeah, you have
tent in the
never
desert.
once picked up a tent.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
I'll add that to the list of things.
See,
that
the
I'm
tent
gonna
would
do.
have not had you rolling to stave off exhaustion, but you're sleeping in bedrolls in a storm under a shitty tree.
I
who
just
is-
want to sleep with my back against the tree.
Yeah, you're pretty hardy. You'll probably
Oh,
be
yeah.
all right through this, but
Just another
Gregory's
one, too.
already looking pretty rough. It's just cold and shivering and damp, wet right to the bone. However, since we're going to be resting, someone's going to need to take first watch.
Don't worry, guys. I'll take the first watch.
Okay. I'll take second.
I'll take last. Baby can go middle. Or sorry, not the baby. Proud Gregory. I call him Proud Gregory because I don't know what he does yet.
Oh.
Well, don't we only technically need 3 people?
Okay.
Technically,
Okay, man,
more or
took a good
less.
bit. Stranger sleeps.
That's fair. All right, so Stanislav, you're starting the evening's watch. Go ahead and roll me a perception check for the evening, please.
May I also have
E-cash roll?
a
Yes, you may.
casual one? Thank you. So for me, and wisdom.
E-cash
So-
is pretty chillin'. Like, he doesn't
Yeah.
need to eat. He's a spectral horse, but he's in a field of grass and vegetables. He is kind of just like munching away, doing his own thing. Yeah, he's not really focused on much beyond that. Meanwhile, you kind of, as Mantuka grabs a seat with his back against the tree, getting ready to sleep for the evening, you grab a similar position on the other side and just kind of keep an eye out on the open fields. You gather it's probably pretty safe, at least this distance from the city. You're still within the farming areas, but it's probably a good idea to keep a watch anyway. You do not see anything throughout the evening, though around, I'll say about the midnight mark, I need you to roll me another weather check, please, for the day. I'm going to see if the storm continues through the night. So I guess whoever wants to can, but Stanislav, you're the one currently awake, so you would be there to see the weather change.
Yeah.
Do it. I hope it snows.
I actually haven't done one in a while, so
I don't know if there's a thing on my table for a freak blizzard. There's definitely like a monsoon potential, like hurricane.
Nat 20 hurricane.
48.
48. The rain continues throughout the night, and as your watch comes to a close, you sit there sopping wet, just to the core. Absolutely
Holding my
freezing.
shield over me, it's probably not
Yeah.
doing much.
And it's like, as it's over you, it's almost soothing. It's like raindrops on a tin roof kind of deal. By about the 2-hour mark, you're getting over that sound pretty goddamn quick. However, your watch comes to a close, and you kind of shake Ramalia awake, who is also sopping wet.
My
Your
turn.
watch, buddy.
All right, thanks. And I will begin my watch.
Go ahead and roll me perception checks as well, please.
Not bad at these. 13, so bad roll.
Yeah. You don't see anything throughout the night. You do hear
Okay.
what kind of sounds like just various woodland critter type things moseying around in the crops and the tall grass and everything. Nothing really stands out as particularly hazardous or interesting to you with that roll, unfortunately. The rest of your watch comes to a close.
You know what they
Me too.
say. No news is good news.
Shake Gregory awake, and now the group of you, truly drenched. Gregory, it's your turn to handle the watch.
And as soon as Gregory wakes up, he just like subconsciously goes into the box, pulls out the little purple pink ball of fur and hair, and puts it on his shoulder. I'm up.
You're doing great, kid.
Thank you. And just hear from the little ball of fur. No. And I'm gonna cast guidance on myself.
Guidance for ball makes me so happy.
Guidance for ball. He looks like a nerd. And perception.
Yep. Perception, please.
Boop. And
Roll your
Boop.
guidance too.
boop.
Okay, 17.
Yes.
You do hear something. As the night goes on, getting to about the early points of the morning, if you had to put a specific time on it, probably around 3:30ish, perhaps a little later. You begin to hear, kind of just drifting over the fields, what appears to be the sound of music. A flute.
What's that?
I open the box again, and this time the little balls of light with big noses come out and just float around my head, and I'm just gonna keep them there.
You kind of illuminate the campsite. The fire now has long since died, unless someone's been maintaining it during the watches. It is drenched and just a sodden mess of charred wood at this point. And as you kind of just send the lights, they begin to kind of go out in wider circles from you and then come back, and they have kind of a comforting feeling to you, and you kind of try to hone in on the sound a little more closely. And it sounds like a flute, like a pipe almost. And you just hear this melody kind of drifting over the cornfields around you. And you very faintly make out what mosquitoes. You make out a mosquito. You hear what it sounds vaguely like children singing.
Gregory's just the light bulb going around. It just makes sounds like meh, meh. And I'm just looking around.
Minecraft villagers?
Yeah, because they have the
exactly.
face. They're the light balls with the little face. I remember.
And
And you.
as soon as I'm like, there's one thing, it's the flute, and I'm like, okay, all right. And then as soon as I hear that first goddamn note from a child, I immediately stand up quietly, calmly walk over to my friends, and start screaming.
Get up! Get up now! Get up now!
I'm up.
There's children screaming, singing somewhere out there.
Everyone roll me perception checks. Gregory, you too, now that you've made a bunch of noise and caused a scene.
16.
Okay.
Not so good.
All right, everyone over 15. So just Romalia. You do begin to make out the sound as Gregory calms down his very frantic screaming and panic moment. And you kind of almost have to clap a hand over his mouth for a moment. You do hear, drifting across the fields, the sound of a flute or pipe being played. What appears to be the sound of children singing along. You can't make out the words, but there's a melody there. It seems to match that of the flute. And you hold for a moment. And as you listen, it begins to fade. Travel further and further away from you. I'm just waiting until this mosquito comes within reach.
Well,
Baby, are these your babies? I mean, sorry, Proud guy Gregory, are these your babies?
I don't know. I don't have any. I don't know what those are, and I don't know why they're
Did you wake
there.
up Mantuka for babies?
What are you talking about? The cash? Do you hear anything? He rolled a 17.
You don't hear it? You see his golden horse ears kind of.
it's moving away.
I'm
But
gonna go hop on top of Nikesh.
Don't see anything from where you're
I'm
at.
just Mantuka's just laying back down.
Yeah, these are massive, massive fields, and sound. You can pick out the general direction it's coming from. You can tell the distance is definitely getting further away from you. Everyone who can hear it, Stanislav, you still can't quite pick it up, though. Nikesh's head is kind of like following the sound a little bit. He seems to be a little more able to notice it with his hearing as it is. Yeah.
Hey, sorry,
it's
might
okay.
have freaked out a bit there.
I mean, you did, but it's okay. We forgive you.
Thank you. Everyone.
No
go back to
honors in
sleep,
killing babies.
Right?
I mean, you're not wrong about that.
Yeah, actually, that's fair.
All right, back to sleep.
Yeah, I'll keep watching.
Good job, buddy.
Yeah, but let us know if it gets closer. No, I'm gonna.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll go.
100%.
Gregory,
I should stay up with him.
are you? Yeah, actually, that's good. That's good.
And
Goodbye, Phil.
Mantuka's not actually gonna go back to sleep. He's gonna just stay up with Gregory. Not necessarily. He's just gonna be laying there, not openly like sitting up or anything like that, but not sleeping.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
with
start
you
going
not
toward-
taking watch,
You
You-
you don't hear
Yeah.
anything else.
Otten's actually going to sleep.
Yeah. So Gregory, you listen intently throughout the rest of the night. The sound has faded almost entirely. Or entirely at this point. It has gone away. Somewhere kind of to the northeast was the last direction you heard. But it has faded and something was out there playing some kind of strange music.
I'll remember that melody till the day I die.
I'll come up with an actual melody and send it to you. Got you. Yeah. Or my personal favorite. Inspector Gadget.
Inspector Peter.
Inspector Peter. So, as the sun rises the following morning, I need all of you to roll me Constitution saves again because you just spent an entire
moment-
night camping in the fucking rain.
The moment I wake up, like knowing that we're all going to be in shit condition, I cast Bless.
Okay. So they still all get the +4, correct?
Plus Bless dice.
So a D4. The only
Yeah,
one it's
so-
gonna matter for is Mantuka has a 15 with your +4. It's gonna Gregory. You're the only one who needs to roll the blessed dice on that. Hey.
Nice.
So
Well, that's what you needed, right?
it goes
Praise
up
the
every
Lord.
time for every like 8-hour to 12-hour period you spend in the pouring rain. The DC is going up. So the longer it
Wait,
rains, the harder it's
So
gonna
that's
get.
technically a 14 for Greg.
Yeah, which means he just succeeds because it was 10 last time and it's gone up to a 12 and will continue to increase as the hours go on. So you do manage to stave off exhaustion one time, managing to find a decent night's sleep, actually pulling off an entire long rest. You're uncomfortable. You are just drenched to the bone. Like you have probably never been so sopping wet in your life at this point. And you hope to never be again. It is miserable, cold, and another day of journeying through this awaits you. As we will roll weather for the whole day. So, how would you like to start your morning? What's the plan?
Make sure everyone's ate properly.
Shove one of my rations down my throat.
There.
Um,
Everyone has
Man-
food.
Mantuka would like to comb back his slicked, wet mane and put on like a war braid. Like shit's gonna go down. I don't want my shit in my face.
Fair enough.
Very good.
Man,
Fair
Very good,
indeed.
Mantuka.
So, the weather continues throughout the day. There's another 8 hours of travel. We're just going to streamline the process. Constitution saves from everyone again for every 8 hours of travel you're doing in the rain. We're going to power right through this. I will need someone to, since I guess this is only second day of travel, so you're not quite at the woods yet. Okay, y'all are good. Y'all are killing it. So as the second day of your journey comes to a close, you all manage to almost grow accustomed to the dampness at this point. And like it's you're as soaked as you're gonna get. It can't get much worse than this. You're just gonna be cold and miserable for the foreseeable future, and that is what you have to live with. Someone go ahead and lead or helm the survival check to find a campsite here. There are more trees as you kind of approach the Daggerwood Forest. Coming over a hill, you do begin to see like bits of this forest popping up. A lot of this has been logged and forested already, but there are still a number of trees that offer a little more protection this time around for whoever wants to helm the. Someone's getting
Whoever's
enhanced
helming it,
ability.
I'm casting
gonna-
enhance ability for El's Wizard.
Brave Gregory, Mantuka
Yeah.
has this called. You'd know roll.
Oh, yeah, Mr. Minister, you go right ahead.
Oh,
'Cause I got,
so I
'cause
actually
got
didn't need to
advantage.
do that.
Because I got advantage on it. So survival.
I mean,
Uh,
wait, Gregory, didn't you say you had bless or not bless guidance?
Yeah.
We could guidance Mantuka.
Oh.
Give
Yes.
me the good stuff.
Oh, okay, absolutely.
I go into the box and I pull that little purple pink fur and I just kind of go to slap it on you, but I stop and I just gingerly put.
There you go.
Does it touch me?
Oh yeah, it's a little purple and pink ball of fur, and then on the inside is a little thing that looks like the nerd mascot. And
I'm
it just
super
goes,
not okay with this.
No, and that's guidance.
There you go. You now have guidance from
All
this
right.
weird fur creature.
So 21 without guidance.
Okay, that's fucking. You're good. This time around, you do manage to find what is actually a small cluster of trees, probably about 3, 4, or 5 of them. I'd say about 5 of them, kind of clustered in an area that hasn't quite been logged in. You actually notice there is a bench that has been carved and kind of sat there in this area. And you gather it's just a place that the local farmers like to come and sit, and they have a chance to get away from the field. It's a good, nice spot in the shade, provides protection from the rain. It's an older piece of furniture. It's been out in the weather for a number of years at this point, but it is still usable. And within the cluster of trees itself, there does appear to be remnants of a small campfire where other individuals have camped here in the past.
Well, I shall gather some wood again. I'm gonna go around.
Yeah, we're gonna forego the rolls this time. You do manage to get a fire going using all the same methods previously. God damn, it's hot in here. Who is taking first watch? This will be probably our last day of camping.
I'll do it this time. Why not? Why shouldn't I?
Go ahead and roll. me a
Mantuka
perception.
pull his weight. Mantuka watch. You trust me? I
Yes,
sir.
Of course
We're
we do.
here. Yes.
I'll take the last watch then.
Okay.
No, I don't. No. Mantuka don't want middle watch. Mantuka they take last watch. But Mantuka do watch.
Okay. I'll take first.
Go ahead,
We'll
roll me
have
a
Gregory do middle, and then we'll have you do last. Or wait, no, Stanislav will do middle.
Yep.
All
Sounds
right. Nothing's going on here, buds.
You are shit.
But you do have a shiny golden warhorse looking.
I feel like we can
the horse can only do perception
me.
checks when you're watching with it, because you have to tell it to do that. It doesn't just actively scan the fucking campsite all night. I appreciate the effort, though.
I don't have an unlimited UAV. Darn.
It's just like a straight up, like, has laser
Such a
eyes and
shame.
shit. Going like a sprinkler.
How could I have known?
So, with a natural 1, leading to a total of 9, you don't hear a goddamn thing at first. The rain blocking out all sound. The sound of it hitting the leaves in the canopy above you are almost entirely inaudible. And then, coming through the rain, almost as not quite a whisper, you begin to hear a melody being played. And I need you to roll me a one second. Wisdom save. Or the I don't remember. I have it written down somewhere. Your aura's active while you're asleep.
No, it's not.
It's always active. Yes, it is.
You're asleep.
Are you sure?
It
Fair
does
enough.
not specify,
Fair
so I
enough.
assume yes. Let me look. Let me look to see.
I'm
Oh,
curious,
okay, fair.
because if it's something you actively need to maintain, or is it just like a genetic quality at this point?
No, it's my. Oh no, sorry. It's while I'm conscious. No,
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
so-
gonna say.
Okay.
This
What'd you
seems a little
say?
ridiculous.
What'd you say the roll was again?
I'm gonna say a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
Yeah.
The aura of alacrity is always up though.
Okay. 1 second. I think. Do I have it yet?
I hope you get hooped by something dangerous, and I hope it makes you very uncomfortable.
Nope. I don't have the feat yet. The class feature that I want yet. So.
Indomitable.
Yep. I don't. So that's an 8, bud.
Okay. As you're sitting there, and the sound finds its way to your ears a little closer this time, you find yourself standing silently, making your way out of the camp towards the source of the sound. For about 10-15 feet, you find yourself just in the cornfields, walking through.
I make an attempt to do a sharp whistle.
I'll say roll me another wisdom saving throw, because you are utterly transfixed by this sound right now. It's going to be a pretty high DC.
Yep, that's fine. Nope. Okay, we're good.
Yeah, unfortunately, as you
Yep.
try to get out just a loud whistle, you find yourself whistling along with the melody. Softly,
Like that.
pleasantly. And you just continue. What seems like minutes, but could be hours. Wandering through the cornfields, making your way north in kind of a northeastern direction towards the edge of the southwestern or southeastern Daggerwood Forest. Fuck off, mosquito. Who was second?
Does
watch?
he Kesh notice me leave?
He would have been asleep with me,
Okay, gotcha.
or like at least lying down with me, not paying
Yeah,
attention
he's
to shit.
chilling.
All right. Well, I did what I could. I'm gone, guys. See ya.
So, no. Who was second watch? Stanislav, I believe.
Yeah, but
But no one's there to wake me up.
I know.
yeah, no one's there to wake him up. So
Do I make a roll for like?
Yeah,
Because I knew I was supposed
Yeah,
to.
you know you're supposed to be up, and you've been adventuring, especially with your brother, long
Yeah.
enough that like
Mhm.
you've been doing this long enough. You kind of have an internal clock. I'm gonna have you roll. Let's just go with Constitution save because it seems reasonable to fight consciousness or unconsciousness.
17.
17. Okay, that does it. It's not right away. You don't wake up right on time.
Mhm.
But at a certain point, it's kind of like when you forget to set your alarm clock for work. And you, even sleeping, begin to feel like something I'm missing right now. And you wake up in a bit of a panic. You're like, why didn't... And you gather...
Where are my socks? Where are my socks?
Yeah, exactly. Like, you're kind of at a loss right now. It's
Wait, what?
quiet. By now, it's about midnight, so go ahead and roll the weather check for today. Anyone who wants to. Do someone else other
Yep,
than
yep.
Stanislav this time.
I'm super good at D100, so I'll toss this your way.
Do it.
When? I feel like that's close to what I got last time. But yeah,
Okay.
take that DM.
So,
One off from a perfect score.
it would have been a perfect score. The weather begins to worsen as the night goes on. The winds begin to pick up and are just blowing through the trees. The trees themselves are beginning to shake, shaking all the water that was being held in the leaves above down onto the party below.
Yeah.
I would say at that point, probably beginning to wake everyone up. The rain is reaching an almost torrential level downpour. Like, we are looking at, like, heavy thunderstorm at this point. And as you are all beginning to just be jostled awake by the rain, you hear a loud crash of thunder as the sky is just lit up by lightning.
Auden?
You look around and see that Ramalia
Ramalia?
has seemingly abandoned his watch and left the camp unattended while you all slept.
Fuck. I'm gonna hop on top of my horse and look for him. See if he's just like taking a piss or
Roll
something.
me a perception check at disadvantage because you're in the middle of a just nasty, nasty storm.
Natural one.
Natural
Yeah.
one with a +0 too. You
I get
can't
rain
hear
all
like
in my
you-
eyes.
Yeah, you're trying to like watch, and your long hair at this point, like it's raining and wind, like blowing the wind so hard, you can't even control your normally what would be flowing locks, and they're just whipping you in the face. You're trying to hold them out of your eyes, and you can't make out a thing. The fields of corn and wheat are just blowing in the wind. There's branches beginning to fall off the trees. This is getting dangerous. You guys are in the absolute middle of a storm, and Ramalia is nowhere to be found. You have no idea whatsoever where he could have gone.
Oh shit. Guys, Romalia's gone.
What? Where'd he go? Where'd he go?
I don't fucking know.
Praise Mogus! You lost player, I'm player, I kill. Mogus mad, storm bad.
Mogus mad, storm bad.
Right. Absolutely.
Hashtag copyright pending.
Shit. Go.
Let's find
I'm
him.
gonna. We'll. Shit. We need to stay together, but I can have Vikesh go and look on his own as well.
Yes, yes. Bait go first,
What's the plan?
and then Brave Gregory.
I'm gonna send Vikesh off and just tell him to stay within where he can talk from here with me.
You tell him to run, to saunter. What's the plan? Any details?
Yeah, I want him to kind of just run around and look
Do
for
a
him.
perimeter. Okay. I would
Yeah.
say roll me a perception check at disadvantage for your horse. Because
Great,
they're not
fly
exactly
speed.
animals that are accustomed to trying to find someone's trail or anything, so he's kind of just randomly running in circles hoping to find something. Okay, it's 12. Not bad. Doesn't really manage to find anything. Runs around for a little while, and as the storm continues to worsen, eventually gets to the point where he begins to give up and comes back to the camp. However, on his way back, being that he is a mystical warhorse, he does kind of like notice a little bit of a spot where the corn stalks have been broken and kind of pushed aside as if someone had pushed through them, but it's very momentary, and if within moments the wind has managed to just whirl the fields into a whirling mass of vegetation, and he kind of loses what he thinks is a trail. You have a general direction, which is northeast, and that's about all you can gather, or all Ikesh can gather, as he kind of returns to you and fills you in your head about all
Yep.
the things the spectral warhorse saw.
Yeah, and I'm feeding that to you guys.
Okay. So he's out.
So it's a bad thing he's gone. He's friend.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we need
Wait a minute,
to mount up and go get him right now.
But what type of friend? Like a casual acquaintance? Like maybe like it's okay if he's not here.
No, like
or
I would kill a king for him type of deal.
Same.
kill. Oh, okay.
Wow, that's high praise.
Oh yeah. Let's
Yeah, I was gonna say.
go find him.
All right,
Okay.
let's go and pack up my shit and hop on.
Gregory
I'm
pulls
out.
out his little wooden practice sword just instinctively, and he's like, "Okay."
The one
Starts
that
running.
Ramalia gave you, that's adorable. So are you guys gonna mount up? Are you leaving the horses? You do have an extra horse in tow now, which is it's
why does-
manageable. It will slow you down though.
If
Why
Kish
does it
make him follow you.
Okay, or I can make you can take the spare horse and you guys can go faster because I'm a fucking big ass bull riding a horse, right? So not the most agile as fuck.
Yeah, like you're moving, but you're also on the slower, older horse, and you're
Yeah.
massive.
Yeah,
and
I'm
it's
not
wet.
gonna
And these are dirt field. Like it's all dirt. Like,
hashtag horses life. Like fuck off. Like, let's go horses.
okay.
Just stay right next to me, and everything should be fine because my work alacrity is anything.
So you begin making your way, leading Otten's or Ramalia's horse ahead of you into the fields, and begin making your way, trudging through the mud that is growing deeper and soggier as time goes on. And you begin looking for paths, or footprints, or any kind of indicator as to where your comrade might have gone. All you're finding is just pools of water beginning to form in these fields, and every step for the horses is like, and it's just slogging through the field at this point. Ramalia, you have about a 2.5 hour head start on the party, give or take. Oh yeah, I know he's out there. You travel on foot for the rest of the evening. You're muted.
Right. Is it like a zombie pull situation,
You
or
are
is
just compelled to move towards this, and even if you wanted to, which you couldn't
Okay.
even begin to imagine not wanting to follow this melody, you
Yeah,
can't
no, that's
stop.
fine. I'm wondering if I'm using my full 90 feet or if it's a.
You're just you're moving along at
Okay.
probably your normal walking pace.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. At this point, the
Yes,
weather's still decent, so you're not slogging through mud. So you're moving about average speed.
Okay.
And as you continue, you kind of make your way through the fields. The music begins to grow louder and louder. And after you walk for almost what feels like an hour, you come to the realization, even in your current state, that you should have got to this sound by now. Something's leading you. And you're not sure
Yeah.
where, but you are more than happy to follow. And as you do, you come to the edge of the Daggerwood Forest and step inside for the first time. Okay, I need you to roll me one more wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
As you enter a clearing, the music intensifies and you are greeted by the light of a blazing bonfire that you think you should have seen for miles away. Like it should have been lighting up the whole night sky. But it's
Okay, dirty 20, finally.
dirty 20. Managed to stave off unconsciousness for a time. And as you continue stepping forward, now beginning to hesitate and realize the foolhardy nature of what you've done.
Mind to my senses again?
Starting to. You're very slowly coming to, and as you're kind of shaking it off, a figure appears behind you, and you just feel a bonk right in the back of your head as something just comes into firm contact with you. I'm going to go ahead and roll with advantage. So yeah, what's your AC currently? That is a total of 22.
Not bad.
Yeah, and it is an assassinate, and it is being done non-lethally. So you feel something blunt just bash into the back of your head.
Okay.
You're not sure what it is.
Well,
you
if it crits and does more than 57 points of damage. Real quick, was their stealth higher than 18?
Yes, for one.
Okay.
It wouldn't have mattered because when you walked past this individual, you were still completely entranced.
It would matter because even with entranced, if I notice them, they don't get the assassinate bonus, but
No,
that's
didn't notice. He definitely outrolled an 18. To someone who does this for... Fucking got you. Finally.
I have
There's
a
so
plus 8 to investigation. I've rolled a nat 1 twice. Don't give me that shit.
Yep, exactly. So you do not notice, and
Yep.
the first hit, it's fairly blunt. It's a fairly
Yeah, that's fine.
sizable
Yep.
weapon. So
Hit that blunt.
that's not that good. That is 8 times 2 is 16 plus the modifier, I believe, is a 6. So that only does 24 points of damage. And as you stumble forward, you feel another one, and another one, as this individual just tees off on you 3 times in a row, using every attack at their disposal.
So you said 26 on the first hit?
It's 8 times 2, 16, plus their modifier of 6, so 22.
22. Okay.
22 points of damage on that. And then the next two are... Oh, that's a D100. All that. 17 plus modifiers, which I believe brings it to a 24. 23. Very high.
Well, if you rolled a 14 and it was a 22, you rolled a 17, it's a 25.
There you go. And same deal. He's just not hitting very good, right?
So that's 4.
The last one definitely hits you as well. Oh, that's not an advantage, so no, it doesn't. He misses the last strike. As he kind of steps in this time, you kind of regain your senses and move your head to the side as you see what appears to be a sizable hammer with some light modifications on it in terms of size and a little bit of extra punch on it.
Right.
It's just a hefty mallet. Even for like a warhammer, normally would not be this size. And while he fails to knock you unconscious, you are now greeted by an individual clad completely in black with no visible appearance whatsoever. No outer appearance.
Gonna take the dodge action,
Go ahead.
and then I'm gonna movement bonus action run and pull my shield out.
Okay. As you begin to do that, I need you to roll me another wisdom save, please.
Oh fuck a duck. Okay, fine. Hey.
Yeah, you manage to resist the urge to follow the music once again as it begins playing, and flee into the forest as you hear what sounds like fairly quiet footsteps behind you, but you hear the sound of brush being moved and branches breaking as some individual follows you swiftly, keeping pace for most of your journey. And as you're running, he's going to make an attack at you with his ranged weapon.
Okay, well, doing the dodgy dodge, so disadvantage.
18?
With disadvantage?
Oh, you're dodging.
Yes, because I can still move 60 feet a turn and dodge. Okay, at 18.
Still hits, right?
Yeah, that still hits, yeah.
Okay. The arrow finds its way into your back. It's a longbow, so it's just a D8. 13 points.
That just barely does it.
Oh, you're unconscious?
Yeah, I had 12 hit points after that.
Oh,
That's
I was
it.
gonna have him. You were gonna have to roll a Constitution save on that one. Hey, we got raided. What's up, Mini Dixie, with the raid of 10? I appreciate you, buddy. How you doing? So, as you run, you feel an arrow sink firmly in between your shoulder blades, and you collapse into the ground. I was gonna say have you roll a con save to resist the poison on the arrow that would have paralyzed you, but you're out anyway. So as you're falling unconscious, you feel your muscles just begin to grow rigid. Like, you're just pretty much auto-failing that one at this point.
Yep,
you're already
that's
out.
fine.
It doesn't really matter. You do feel that effect. You definitely know that arrow is
Right.
100% poisoned with something. And you kind of just begin falling into unconsciousness in the wet, damp underbrush of the Daggerwood Forest. At that point, we've popped back to the party. What are you guys doing? You're wandering through the fields trying to find a path. At this point, there's no indication of where Romalia might have gone whatsoever. How are you trying to find this trail?
I start like getting very frantic once I start realizing I'm slashing at the corn with my wooden sword, and I'm just realizing we're not going anywhere fast. And then I just feel in my chest a, and I go into my my robe and I pull out the white bone mask, and I'm like, now or never. And I just slap it on, and my whole body starts to erupt in fur and blood and viscera, and I'm gonna turn into a wolf. They have a bunch of extra stuff from finding shit.
Yeah, so I was waiting for that. As Mantuka, you see little Gregory, the tiny 15-year-old, the one you're referring to as a baby, pull out a mask made entirely of bone, place it on his face, and as he does so, he begins screaming and contorting. You begin seeing the skin tear and bits of fur beginning to rip out as bones snap and rearrange into place. And there stands in front of you a fairly large wolf, where Gregory once stood.
Holy shit! Furry Gregory!
And you just see Gregory just like immediately, as soon as he like stands up in his new wolf form, he just bolts right into the corn, and he's just going to tweak his ears and his nose. It's probably a little hard with the rain, but mostly the ears, and he's really going to try and pick up that fucking flute that he will remember
Okay.
till the day he dies.
I'm going to say, because you're now a dog, you have very good hearing and a very good sense of smell. It is a perception check, not at disadvantage. Just straight roll, because you're counteracting the rain by turning into a wolf.
Okay,
It's still
now
going to be
I'm gonna
difficult to
cast
smell a trail, but like you can maybe
enhance
pick up on.
ability.
So
on the
that's
wolf.
advantage?
Yes,
Yeah,
on all wisdom checks,
still 15. It's pretty good.
wisdom related checks.
So 15 total.
15.
You do eventually manage to pick up something. It's not quite the flute right away. But as you're kind of rummaging through the mud, the rain is still coming down, but it's not necessarily flooding you out at this point. It's maintaining its kind of steady flow at this point. And you thought you pick up a scent. And you're like, no, it's not. And you kind of look, and you see where someone had passed through what appears to be a kind of more thorny bush-like area. Some kind of wild raspberry or something with some thorns on it. And you notice just a small shred of white, kind of beige cloak that has been torn off on this bit of thorny branch.
Immediately, like, I've just been running full tilt this whole time, 40 feet every 6 seconds, and just skin stop, smell it ever so slightly, try and pinpoint exactly where maybe, and then just full tilt again.
Okay. So it is a piece of Romalia's cloak, and as you kind of approach it, you pick up the scent from it. It's wet, it's damp, but the smell of Romalia is still upon this garment. And do you wait for the party at all at this point, or you just
let out like a bellowing,
Oh, I've been keeping up on Nikesh, no problem.
No, you're not. Big problem. It is a warhorse trudging through mud in the middle of a rainstorm.
Oh, right, the mud, yeah.
I do let off like a very loud howl to alert everyone of where I am, and then just continue. Whoop.
Okay.
That
You all hear a howl that kind of breaks over the storm, and it's like, oh. as thunder kind of erupts once more, and lightning splits the entire sky. You guys continue just trudging along as Gregory begins to gain even further and further and further of a lead ahead of you. How far ahead of the group are you planning on getting?
Especially now with the wolf's feelings and emotions and adrenaline, I've just got to find Romalia.
Okay, so you're not stopping.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck furry Gregory.
Oh, you just... Okay. The part, Stanislav and Mantuka, you are
We have
left
a direction.
alone in the field. You have a direction to a point. The wolf is helping in that as it's running through the field, just kind of moving different stalks of corn out of the way and breaking them, giving you a bit of a clear indicator. But at a certain point, you notice where his footfalls have just begun to fill with water and refilling with mud. You are going to actively lose the trail at a certain point if you don't really continue along. You're keeping up, but barely. Gregory, you run for a while. Quite a while. Longer than your human brain tells you is a smart thing to do. And as you begin to approach and see the edge of the Daggerwood Forest approaching you, still a decent ways away, I need you to roll me a wisdom saving throw as the sound of that music finds its way into your ears. And I'm going to say no, I'm not going to make you do it at disadvantage. That would be mean. Just go ahead and roll it. You are a wolf, so your hearing is particularly good, but it's more a magical effect, not so much your ability to hear. So you do manage to resist it. As you approach, you feel the hold of the music begin to take on your mind, and you kind of steel yourself a little more than you'd probably be able to do in your human form. Just like you have the blood of a wolf in you right now. And you manage to shrug it off, and you kind of just give your head a shake, kind of shake the water off, give your whole body like a little tousle, and continue along. By the time you get there, you approach the edge of the forest, or the edge of this clearing, and you now see this flickering firelight as you kind of approach. You pass through. It's not quite a wall, but there's something visceral. It is visceral. It is dark, and then as you pass a certain line of trees, you are nearly blinded by the sight of a giant blazing bonfire. And around it, something that Romalia did not get a chance to notice. You see a number of cages, of animals all chained up, and in the cages are just people, mostly children, but a number of adults as well, who seemingly have stumbled into this Piper's trap. And as you enter the clearing, I do need one more save from you, as you are literally 20 feet away from the source of this music, as the Piper is just sitting there with his legs crossed, playing along. He notices you and begins to play more intently, and as you, once again in your wolf form, just begin to feel it take hold over your mind, you just shake it off once more, bare your teeth, and prepare yourself for whatever is coming. And as you stand there snarling, the hard rain falling around you and the lightning cracks the sky, one last eruption of thunder. And that's where we're going to call tonight's session.
We're all gonna die.
We'll be back to it next week.
Some of us.
Not
Oh
only is
my
the party split, it's split thrice
Yep.
in a
Gregory
four-person
just
party.
It is-
sees red.
Yeah.
Predator
Just
handshake of luck.
Fucking
I know
enraged.
I know he's not here, but like the RP thrice split, I think is what this is gonna be called.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
what it's going to be. This is going to be the RP thrice TPK. Yeah. So that'll be it for this week. We'll be back next week with this, as our Vampire the Masquerade game is currently on hold as we figure out what to do, as it is currently a coterie of me. So we're going to be taking some time off from that, diving right back into some more D&D next week. And then the following week after that, since Ryan is unavailable due to some previous engagements that he's had planned and been excited for just months, we're going to be...
fast. Woo!
I wish I could. I'm broke. I'm going to be running an evil one-shot instead for some good friends of the stream, a couple people you've already seen on here. I've got my boy Tarkonix signed on for another stream, showing up as Girthmog the Thickness. I could not be happier or more excited. The Barbarian Chef cooks once more. I am so stoked. In the meantime, I'll be back tomorrow for some Dark Souls. It's just nothing like a just utterly soul-crushing experience to really start your
And
day
I do
off.
have a new vampire character to replace Vincent.
I'm looking forward to meeting him, so we're gonna have to figure out where we're going with that. In the meantime, well, thank you all for coming. I've been Rusty. These have been my friends. Thank you guys for joining. Big thanks to Peter for whipping together a character that's that
Hey.
awesome in such a short span. Holy shit.
Thanks so much for having me, guys.
Loving the Minotaur.
Mr. Sir, Minister.
Minister?
And big horse
Big
balls.
gravy.
Oh god, we need to find someone to raid out on.
Anti horse balls. No horse balls.
Oh,
god.
Horse ball removal service.
No horse balls. Why are we doing horse balls? Why? What is wrong with you people? Every time.
Bastos.
It
Where's my
stems from
D&D
Red Dead.
streamers at? We gotta find someone to raid out on this streaming this shit. I'm
in danger.
Alright, fuck it. We're gonna go raid out on Knights of Silvermoon. They've been homies this stream. So we're gonna go ahead and drop this raid over on another D&D streamer because we like to continue the TTRPG love on Tabletop Night. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. We're gonna send you over to Knights of Silvermoon, who is currently streaming some of their D&D campaign. Hope y'all enjoy it. Hope y'all had a good time today. I'll see y'all tomorrow. And we love you. Bye-bye.
Ah.